Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
So, apparently Chuck is in a cookbook.
Going to be published in the fall of 2025. So there you
I
have
don't know
it,
if I
right
can wait
there.
that long.
Oh,
Can I get a pre-copy?
So the bottom line is, I am going to have a recipe in there, fellas.
Yeah, what is it?
I have to sign a release saying it's okay for them to publish it for the masses.
Do they know that you stole it from someone else and it's
Well,
not
I'm
even
sure
yours?
they suspect that, yes.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo
There we
show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
I don't know if I'd call it a tearful reunion, but it's nice to have everyone back in the studio today. Bo's returned.
Hey.
Jackson, the intern's cheated death. He's been sick for like a month, and now he's back. And we're all back in the room together, and life seems to be back to normal.
Yeah,
It's
I
nice
don't
to
know how
see you.
normal it is,
It's
but
nice to see you.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I've cheated the West
It was-
Coast time again.
It was quiet in here yesterday.
I'm back from the desert.
You're back, and back from the desert.
Yeah.
Did you leave anything for the rest of us out there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There's plenty to go
All
around.
right.
Yeah.
There's still some left?
Yeah. You know, the thing about Las Vegas is it's kind of like Pat McAfee. I wonder when Pat McAfee is going to run out of, like, the next level because he entertains so hard, right? Like, such a high energy all the time. And then he went to wrestling and WWE. It's like, what's next? How do you outdo yourself? And I feel like when I go to Las Vegas, it's like they keep asking, how can we outdo ourselves? And so there's another building or several new buildings every time you go, probably built on the last time you were there.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, they don't keep building those buildings because they're giving up money.
I mean, look, when you have a restaurant where they're selling $1,000 steak
I know.
out of a briefcase,
I know.
we've
I know.
something's wrong with
I'm aware
with
of
the
that.
world.
I'm
We've
aware
lost
of
the
that.
plot. We've lost the plot.
You went to that place too, huh?
We definitely. Well, it was in this.
I got sucked in. I got sucked in.
Well, it was in the same hotel.
I
It was in the
understand.
hotel I was
I
staying
get
in.
it. I get it.
And I went. I did not have it, but it did make me ask questions, and I thought about it.
I've been there.
And years ago at Shogun,
That good.
years ago at Shogun, they used to do the same thing for your birthday. I don't know what the big deal is.
Yeah, right.
Now they
right.
want you to buy $1,000 steak.
I know.
You're like, what? $1,000? Like, what comes in this thing?
There's
Are there-
no piece of food on the planet that's good.
Is
that's
there
that good.
is there like a $500 chip in there I can gamble with later? Like, it's just
That is,
like king cake. You're looking for a chip inside
You know,
steak.
you hear the term ego buy? $1,000 steak is an ego buy.
Oh, my
man.
gosh.
I mean, that is the ultimate in ego buy.
Huh. I mean, Bart could write my name on a piece of paper and we could all just walk in dancing. Bo, bo, bo,
So how was the steak?
No, I don't get it.
How was the steak?
I think the filet was $80. I mean, like, what do you get for $1,000? You get a giant bone in the middle of it.
You get to take the bone home.
it's-
Like I said, there's no food in the world that's that good.
So I went for the
you're right.
the Kenny Chesney show at the Sphere. That was the reason for going.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of friends planned it months ago. Was going to cancel and go to Omaha, and then the ninth inning happened. So. And I wasn't sure how I'd feel about going to Vegas after all that
gonna
misfortune
say.
at the ninth inning.
Yeah.
I was like, this just
well,
doesn't.
now it's like the
doesn't
full
match up.
story's starting to come together now.
This doesn't match up.
Yeah.
But it turned out I got some of the luck the Razorbacks did not have.
Well,
in the
that's
ninth.
good.
So
That's good. I'm glad.
I didn't lose everything.
Bo pocketed all the luck and left the rest of us out in the cold.
Yeah. No, it went
is
okay.
the bottom line.
It went okay.
That's what it sounds like.
But the Sphere, like speaking about doing yourself, it's hard to describe. I know
wanna
many
go.
people,
I
many
wanna
people
go.
have gone.
Yeah, I want to go.
Many people.
And it,
Many
like I've
people.
talked to many people here that
Many people say it's as good as you'll see.
I mean, many Arkansans have gone.
Yeah.
And yes, obviously many people have gone.
Yes.
And the whole thing started off with a couple of frat guys coming trying to kick us out of our seats.
Huh.
Said they had a bachelor party and they had the whole row. Well, it turns out they didn't have the whole row. We were in the middle of the row that they wanted to have the whole row on. So this is how the concert begins for me. And I just looked at it because my buddy Jason, who had the tickets, your signal's not working in there unless you get on Wi-Fi. So he couldn't do the quick screenshot, send me so I have it when I'm, because we're not in the same row. And I told this guy, I'm like, man, you better not be wrong. And when I came back with the usher or the security, it was a security guard, and he was wrong. Let's just say it wasn't my finest moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you let him know a little
I
bit?
think she
Did
said.
you feel empowered?
I
by
think
having
the
a
security
guy
guard.
there?
No, I think the security guard then looked at me and said, "You can't say that."
Ooh.
And now I'm looking
Okay.
at like, okay, I better just take the win here.
Yeah,
Get back in
yeah.
my seat.
Take the W and sit down.
But yeah, you do feel tougher when
No
you have a
question.
security guard
Absolutely.
on your side.
Absolutely. You're 10 feet
There's
tall.
no
You're
question.
bulletproof.
It's
man.
like you're on Twitter.
Yeah.
You can say anything
I'm
you
home
want.
alone. The doors are locked, and I'm on Twitter.
I can take any shot at anybody, and I have a fake burner account here.
That's right.
Nobody knows who I am.
Oh, that's
Boy, am
funny.
I tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that moment.
All-time fake tough guy moment.
And I'm not proud of it. But the concert, like I don't even know how to describe it. It's I don't know. It's IMAX. It's 3D. It's everything meets a concert, and you feel like you could feel like you're on a yacht on a body of water, and you're at a concert. And it's all matching the music and all. It was incredible.
I've been told that
It lived up to the hype. It's hard to live up to the hype
Yeah.
when you've heard so
Oh,
much
I'm
of
sure
that,
that's true.
and it absolutely lived up to it.
And I'll ask you. I heard people say that you can see a performance in there, and they can light it in a certain way. It's like you're at an outside concert. You think you're at an outdoor concert because of all the things that are.
You feel
on
like
the
you're in a lot of
screen.
places.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, they could take you a lot of
Oh,
places.
really?
in there.
Okay. Well, good. I'm even more intrigued
And
now.
don't even bother trying to enhance your experience. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need
All
anything
right.
to try to enhance. I'm talking to all the people that have gone to Woodstock. You don't need anything to enhance your experience.
Okay.
Just go be present,
All right.
and it will take you on a journey. That is the sphere.
Okay.
That's what it's there for.
Well, I mean, I want to go even more now.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I knew Bo would come back with tales that would
Yeah.
make us all want to get on a plane.
It was
and
like
go to
I wanted
Vegas
to look at
again.
this guy and say, "Are you the same guy that came at Bart at the LSU Arkansas softball game?"
Yeah, probably was.
Probably was. But it's unlike anything I've ever experienced. Even if you go and they don't have a concert and you just do the experience, I know people that have done that because they have shows every day. Do that, like it's worth it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
The
you've
tour
never seen
there is
anything
not
it.
like your normal tour.
No, it's they go in and give you this.
They show you
experience
everything
where-
that
how it
how it
works.
operates.
I mean, the seats vibrate.
I got you.
Like it's like you're at a
Wow.
movie theater. Like you can feel the experience. It's weird. It was awesome. That was weird when I've never had a seat vibrate at a concert before. Like in a certain moment, like there's this build up.
I've been places where the seat vibrates.
Yeah, well,
Not-
that's not
not a concert.
That's not, I knew this was going somewhere
Yeah,
by
well,
the way you were looking at me.
somebody had to say it.
But I didn't.
I mean,
but-
somebody had to say
But I
it.
was just kind of wondering how bad it would be.
6:10 in the morning, guys.
Well, listen, we've talked about
It's
this
Vegas.
before.
It's Vegas.
We come in hot.
Yeah.
Well, there's no slow entry into the show on the Chuck and Bo show. Like it's too early for this, but we're here.
Yeah. Might as well.
Speaking of that, I was watching these interviews with the guys on the world champion Oklahoma City Thunder,
Yes. They're too young to drink.
and Jalen Williams said, not Arkansas's Jalen Williams, Jalen said that was the first time he had ever drank. Like we'll play this clip at some point, but the first time he's ever drank in his life.
Called it disgusting.
And he called it disgusting. And he said he's retired, except he can't speak on the parade because that I'm sure they're going to try to really get him to do that again at the parade. But these guys agree to go on these shows in the mornings, Chuck, like Good Morning America,
know,
whatever.
I know.
And they are half baked.
Well,
They
sometimes
can't hardly
more than
speak.
half.
Yeah.
Sometimes more than
Sometimes
half.
fully.
SGA was on another planet trying to talk to the world on Good Morning America.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, well, it's all over social. And it's just like, it was just really nice to win.
Yeah.
And she's like, have you been up all night? It's like, I think I got a little bit of rest.
Yeah. Clearly, he figured out how to open the champagne bottles.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
some of those guys didn't know what they were doing in there.
I mean,
and,
honestly, the last
he
thing-
obviously figured some things out during the night.
That's when you need a veteran presence in
I
the
guess
locker
so,
room.
yeah.
That's.
I liked what
I
Hartenstein
mean, not to
said.
critique the roster construction since they're the champions. but-
Right. Hartenstein said when he played in Lithuania, they just drank straight tequila. So he didn't know how to open a champagne bottle either. So I don't know.
I'll tell you, when you win a championship, I can only imagine what that's got to be like for. I mean, those guys grind, all year long.
Oh, they do.
And so for him to be able to win it, for those guys to be able to win it, I would say, hey, I'm probably not going to be doing interviews first thing in the morning. You know what I mean?
Well, it's just part of it.
Here's the Jalen Williams clip that I was telling you about. It's pretty impressive that this guy's never drank before until now.
Okay, so yeah, like yesterday was my first time drinking ever. Like I never had a drink up until that point. And the beginning of the season, the guys want me to drink. That's like the big thing for them. I don't know why, but I told the beginning of the year, I was like, win a championship, I'll drink. I'll do whatever you guys want. I'll drink champagne. We could do shots. So we kept getting closer during the season, and I was like, I'm gonna have to drink. So I drank a little bit. I had a couple shots, champagne. I had beer. It was all disgusting. I'm gonna stick to Shirley Temples. I had a lot of those yesterday and a lot of water.
It's pretty disgusting. That was Jalen Williams.
You don't
on
hear a lot of
Sports
people,
Center.
you just don't hear a lot of kids, especially professional athletes, say, drinking's disgusting.
Yeah. Well,
You just don't.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's because they've gotten used to it and forgot how disgusting it is. And the people that have it are like, why do you do that?
Yeah.
Why, like, how do we make it taste better so you can drink yourself to death? But these other guys are like, what are y'all doing? But he did it, and he said it was disgusting. And then Jalen Williams from Fort Smith, former Razorback, our Jalen, he had a big giant pull off a light beer,
Yeah, I
like
saw
they
that.
toasted.
Yeah.
Literal bitter beer face.
Yeah.
I thought he was
Yeah.
going to spit it out.
Yeah.
And then inexplicably he said, where's the tequila?
Yeah. He's not really a beer guy.
Yeah. Hey, here's the good morning at 6:14, the
There-
Chuck and Bo show.
go do it.
Here we go. It's the Chuck and Bo show. We're just kind of wading through it, figuring it out with you this morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Hey, you can beat inflation and upgrade your ride at Chevy of Fayetteville. Right now, drive home a brand new Chevy Silverado, Blazer, Equinox EV, or the Tough 2500 with rates as low as 1.9% APR. Plus, take advantage of huge discounts and get top dollar for your trade-in. Go see Chris, Mark, and Denver at Chevy of Fayetteville, where the deals are big and the road ahead is even better. Chevy of Fayetteville. Let's drive. Why deal with the stress of commercial travel when you can fly on your schedule with Jet Aircraft? No TSA lines, no baggage claim, no waiting around. Just you and your crew flying in comfort and style. Whether it's a weekend getaway, a golf trip, or planning your football travel for the fall, Jet makes it easy. Seats up to 9 with a full bar, custom catering, and plenty of space. Visit Jet NWA for pricing and more. That's Jet with 2 T's. It's going to be a tough slog from now till the end of time.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I need you to continue to carry the show. But
Well, I mean, it was fun. We missed you.
oh, I heard you.
We missed you.
Every time I hear you without me, I think, why am I there?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, today's not the day you want your AC to go out. That's for sure. If you're a Pasco customer, though, you're not worried about that. And that's the peace of mind that comes with the Pasco Protection Program. You know that if it's 100 degrees outside or if it's 10 below, you're going to be okay. Because every detail matters when you deal with professionals. And the folks at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric do things a little bit differently than everybody else. Premium service, expert installation. And right now you can get a brand new high-efficiency AC and furnace system starting at just $79.99. No shortcuts, no surprises. Just Pascal quality at a price more families can afford. Professional people, professional service. Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric.
I got it at 72 right now.
In the room
Getting
or
up
outside?
getting up to. Well, we're not going to allow that to happen. Hopefully, 72 outside. Winds at 2 mile an hour. Going to creep up to 7 mile an hour winds today. So that's a great day. And could get all the way up to 90. Yes, part.
It is 71 or 72, whatever. It already feels like 77, 78 degrees.
Yes.
Which is a bad sign for today.
There was a nice breeze last night, though.
There was.
There's a nice
Summer
breeze.
nights.
It was a pleasant evening
Summer
last
nights,
night.
man.
It was a hot day.
It's going to be real humid again. 95% humidity
You know what was weird
today.
is getting
That's bad.
getting back at 8 o'clock last night, Chuck, and feeling
I hate that.
feeling like it's 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like because the sun's still
Yeah.
not down. I mean we have great summer nights. You know, like if you're just sitting on the back porch, cools off a little bit.
Some of it depends on where you are. As one who's lived in several spots around
Okay.
Arkansas, when you're up in the mountains, you get a breeze at night.
Okay.
Fort Smith, no breeze at night. Clarksville, not a lot of breeze at night.
Okay.
But
Fan on the porch.
fan on the porch.
Yeah.
But it just kind of depends on where you are. But in northwest Arkansas, there always seems to be a breeze at night, I've discovered.
I enjoy that.
Yeah, I do too. It was nice last night.
Yeah.
It was nice.
It was nice. It's great to come home to. It's good to be home. Although also went straight into that feeling of, wow, now this is humidity. They don't have that out there.
Dry heat.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
It's a dry.
Yeah, you're.
Well, you want to avoid
It's
it.
like you're sitting next to a blast furnace. You know, when you're outside, it's like you're in the middle of the blast
You
furnace.
don't want to have the dry heaves with the dry
No,
heat. You don't want to do that.
No.
You stay away from that.
Generally, the best policy when you go to Vegas is to stay indoors.
Oh.
Climate control.
Yeah, or in the pool.
Yes.
But too much of that, and
But again, climate controlled. I mean, you got the water there.
Yeah,
You know, you can.
that's climate
you
control.
can do
Okay.
something about it.
That's right.
Well, I personally prefer the actual climate control in Vegas.
The one with the button.
Yes,
the one
with
that
the button.
Pascal
Yes,
produces.
that's exactly right. When it's 115 outside, that's what I go for.
What have you guys been doing while I was gone?
Talking about you.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to talk about.
Nothing to
Wasn't a lot
talk
going
about.
on.
No, it's quiet.
Oh,
It's
geez.
quiet.
Yeah. How'd that go? Did that stir anything up?
No, really
Yeah.
didn't. No, really. I didn't know if you told everybody where you were.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes.
You were protecting that.
Well, you know, I like to protect people's privacy. Yeah. And so I didn't actually say Bo is in Vegas. But I don't even know if I imply.
What did you say? Bo's gone.
Bo's away.
Yeah, Bo's gone.
He's away.
I think I might have said it. It really is a lot more fun when Bo's gone, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
No, I mean, no, it was. You were missed. You were missed.
Oh,
you were missed.
Yeah,
you were missed.
I can feel it.
No, you were. You
I
were.
can feel it. So you guys didn't talk about anything else while I was gone? Nothing really. I did watch the College World Series, a little bit of that, especially after Chuck put out a group message that there was over umpiring going on.
There was over
Ejections
umpiring
were
going on.
happening.
I think I was the only person on earth watching it. I mean, I really do. I mean, I was like, you know, incredulous, and I was like, "Where's the outrage?" And
Nobody in Arkansas cares.
Nobody gave a damn.
Yeah,
It was except me.
yeah. And how about-
You know, it is striking though, honestly. When the Razorback football season ends, we don't stop watching college football. I mean, we're still watching every game out there, arguing about it, debating it, wondering why we're not there.
we don't just leave the playoff.
No, we don't just leave the playoff.
Exit stage right.
In baseball, as soon as the Razorbacks lose, crickets.
Bang.
That's it.
We gone.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's
Hey, At least they figured out how to give out the Golden Spikes Award.
Oh, God.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, listen, there's a place here. If y'all need one, it's called the Botanical Gardens. We could try that. I mean, what are we doing?
We'd be better off handing it out in the studio.
I turned it
here.
off, even though Vahiva was going to win. At least I thought he was. I knew all our guys wouldn't be up there if he wasn't going to win. I mean, do the math. If they're
That's
calling all
reading the room.
Yeah,
Good job.
Read the room. But it's like, why do you guys not make this a better presentation? Why do you not? I mean, you want people to recognize what you do, and the sport has never been hotter. I mean, you've got a big stage. You're on ESPN, the College World Series. The stadium looks grand. Everything's big league until you do that. And it's like, what are you doing? I mean, you don't have guys at the end of the football season showing up in sweats. Why in the June do you have kids showing up in shorts?
Yeah.
Why are you doing it during BP?
Exactly. Why are we doing it on the field? Do like after you win, then recognize them on the field, but have a little ceremony.
They deserve so much better than that. The players deserve better than that. And it's bothered me for a couple of years now. Year before last, they did it or last year they did it in what looked like the smallest meeting room they could find at the stadium or wherever they were. And, I mean, it literally looked like guys had just gotten out of the shower. In the back of the room, the SID had handed them the polo. They put it on, and they went and sat down.
It reminded me of Ty's report from the SEC tournament.
Well, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, and I'm proud for Vahiva. And when you think about a program having won 3 Golden Spikes Awards in 10 years, when they hadn't won one before.
So was it Benintendi, Cops, and Vahiva?
Right.
And then Hagen Smith was a finalist.
Yeah, Hagen Smith was a finalist. He was there last year. And I don't know. I'm not taking anything away from any of them. And I know it sounds like I'm just being an old guy here, but be proud of what you do and be proud of that award and make it a big deal and don't turn it into an afterthought. If you want players to be recognized for their work and what they've done, make giving them that award a big deal. Don't steal the moment from them.
Do you think David Basil would ever let something like that happen?
No,
with one of his
not.
awards?
No.
Of course not. And here's the point, honestly, on a serious note, is that college baseball has exploded in popularity. I'm not saying it's anywhere near where college football is, but given where it was a decade ago, it has grown immensely. And things like this just haven't stayed up. You know what I mean? Like hey, you can't. Like if you're gonna improve your game and you're gonna have more eyeballs in your game and you're that's where we're headed.
Well,
then things have to keep up with that, and this is just lagging way behind.
The Golden Spikes Award is if you're gonna blame somebody, blame the award.
Yeah, well, it's their award
because you need a sponsor.
You gotta do it. Yeah,
you need a sponsor. Look, if you've got a real sponsor, and I'm just pulling names out of the air. Let's just say Capital One,
Dr. Pepper.
I'm just pulling names out of the air. They're not going to let you do that.
Flight by Yingling would never let that happen.
And it's the award's fault. You've got to get out there and you got to get you a sponsor and you've got to have a serious idea about how you want to do this. But they don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
Maybe we should just start hosting it.
Maybe.
We'll do the Chuck and Bo Golden Spikes Award.
I mean, seriously, get a big sponsor.
Yeah.
And I'm not
We
saying
can at
it's
least find
simple.
an
I'm not
auditorium.
saying it's simple. But if you market that award properly and you have financial support, you don't have situations like that.
Even if they had it at the Golden Corral, it would have felt better. Even that.
The Golden Corral Spikes Award.
Yeah, the Golden Corral Golden Spikes Award.
Hey, there's Omaha celebrates college baseball like no other season. You're going to tell me there's not a better spot than the area right behind the batting cage?
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, come on.
All the things around the stadium, Rocco's would have happily hosted.
Absolutely.
I mean, Jello shots for everyone.
I mean, they've
That's just wild. I just can't believe it. I just could not believe, and it's like everybody calls this the Heisman of college baseball. Oh man, like,
and instead of at the end people talking about, man, those were some great players. They're talking about, wow, that was really a small-time ceremony.
Also, you've never seen any of them look like that.
No, you're right.
Because they always have their uniform.
That's
on.
right.
Like maybe even have them show up in their uniform if you're going to do it out there.
Well, I think you need to be in a room that's climate controlled, and these guys ought to be dressed up. I think the coaches ought to be dressed up. I think the people on the stage ought to be dressed up, and I think you ought to treat it like a real deal. And if you're not, don't do it.
And you don't want to hear the ambient noise of pings.
I don't want to hear batting practice in the background. I mean, come on, act like it's a big deal. If you want it to be a big deal, act like it is.
Imagine if somebody caught a stray off of batting practice, like a hole in the net or something.
Yeah,
that would just like, oh, there goes a ball.
Hey,
Christmas.
What
man.
about those dugout reporters? Did you notice how gun shy those dugout reporters were? Every time there was a ping and they were interviewing a coach, I mean, they jumped, and I think one of the coaches said, "You're okay," during the interview. But
you love those in-game interviews.
Yeah.
Only with the players though, which I agree with.
I know I sound like an old grumpy guy. I just think that they could do this stuff better. I think you need to celebrate the players' accomplishments more, and you need to treat it like a big deal. If that's just my view. Look, evidently they don't want that, because I'm not the first one to say it. People have said it all over the country. Evidently they don't want it to be a big deal.
Well, just tell us it's not a big deal.
So that's fine.
Don't act like it's a big deal.
That's right.
And then we show up and it's like, what?
That's exactly
just
right.
Say, oh, it's not a big deal.
That's
so
right.
don't really worry about it.
That's right. Don't get mad when people downplay what you do because you're downplaying.
Yes.
They treat it like the award they give after the homecoming game to like the best performing senior or something. Yeah, thank you.
It's the Crip Hall Award.
The Crip Hall Award of baseball is what they're treating it
It'd have been better. It'd have been
like
better.
that was what it was like.
It would have been better having it in the media room. I'm serious. Like a press conference.
That's what they did last year.
Yeah, they'd have been better having it in the press box. They would have anywhere. But not on the field behind the batting game, like batting practice. What are we doing? Anyhow, well, I think we've covered it. But if you are interested in helping the Golden Spikes Award,
that's right,
live up to its potential.
20% commission. That's all we're asking for. We'll have this thing taken care of by dinner time tonight.
I bet Basil's already called him.
Hey, Basil. Basil's got the trophy ordered.
I can make a
for
trophy
crying
that's
out
better
loud.
Than that. We'll do it at Oaklawn. Like if y'all can't do it,
promo it at the Touchdown Club.
We'll do it at Oaklawn.
I mean, it's going to be great. But honestly, it wouldn't take that much
award
effort.
better, just like you can bank better at First Security
That's right.
Bank.
There
We
you
just
go.
figure out
There
how
you
to
go.
award
Turn
better.
it over to First Security Bank.
First Security Bank can help you bank better. They can grill better with that teal grill, and then maybe they can award better. Or they can certainly help maybe the Golden Spikes Award with some financial things to up the ante here. First Security Bank, convenient locations helping you bank better throughout the state of Arkansas. Only in Arkansas, all about Arkansas. Friendly, local banking, First Security Bank, member FDIC. It's 6:32, Chuck and Bo Show back together again.
Donuts, Red Bull, and lottery tickets. I mean, how could you want anything
Courtesy
more?
of the Chuck and Bo Show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, guys, you hear us talk about the Sweat and Edge on the Chuck and Bo Show. You've got your summer lineup set, but what about your skincare? Sun, sweat, and all that time outside takes a toll. Hit up the spa at Sweatnum Cosmetic Surgery for a facial or sun damage repair. It's not just for the ladies, guys. Call 479-966-4174. Again, that's 479-966-4174 and get your skin in the game.
With rainy season here and summer just around the corner, make sure your gutters are ready. Hogcroft Gutters, locally owned with over 30 years of experience, does it all. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drain. Fully licensed and insured with a 20-year warranty on every job. Serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And if you're outside those areas, just give them a call or a text. And for a free inspection, visit hoggutters.com. That's hoggutters.com. You can tell I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
And so I'm in the College of Education teaching, first aid and driver's ed. And that's kind of started the semester, which was the fall semester of '69. I looked up the baseball coach, and he would come to practice with a suit on. In fall practice, I'll never forget the first one I went to. Everybody's taking ground balls and
One thing, but listen, what a great show you. The best sports show in the state is, no doubt, the Chuck and Bo Show. No doubt about it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Now, no point in arguing with Eddie.
No sense in belaboring the point.
Absolutely not. Hey, good morning. By the way, best in the state, for my money, if it comes to having a roof put on, is Teamwork Roofing and Construction. And there's a lot of people out there that do a decent job, but they're going to do a high-end job for you, use the best materials. But the most important thing is they're going to communicate with you. You're going to know what's going on the whole time, and they're going to do exactly what they say, starting with they're going to be there the day they say they're going to be there and the time they say they're going to be there. And then they're going to be done by the time they said they were going to be done. That's unusual in the roofing and construction world. Yeah. And when they get done, it's going to be a job well done, and you won't even know they were there. But you're going to have a new roof. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, whether it's business or residential, homes, whatever it is. Certified in Malarkey shingles, McElroy metal, low slope systems. They got all the bases covered. Check out their Facebook. You can see videos, pictures of the job they've done. You'll find the quality we're talking about. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Check them out on Facebook. Built on quality, powered by Teamwork, and a partner of the Chuck and Bo Show. 877-377-6963 if you want to text or call the show. We are in talking season.
Talking season has arrived.
When is Phil Steele's magazine out?
It's got to be soon.
Should be soon.
I think
because
it's out.
We've got all SEC preseason honors from him.
When are we making our annual trip to Barnes & Noble to pick it up?
As soon as I know that it's there.
Yeah.
You remember that? About this time of year, you'd go to Barnes & Noble and buy all the magazines.
Yes.
And you'd have them like strewn all over the table here, so it'd make it look like you really were well researched, even though, sometimes you open them and sometimes you didn't.
July 4th is apparently, it'll be there by July 4th, according to Phil himself.
That's true independence right there.
That is.
According to Phil himself.
What an interesting release date.
Yeah.
Should we get Phil on the show?
Well, of course.
Okay.
That's an annual tradition.
Yeah.
We got to get back to that. Tell them we're back. We're back, and we want to get them on the show. And we're in the mornings now.
Yeah.
And then we
I'd
got to
be
make
fine
now.
with
Do we have any desire, any inkling at all? We're just going to take
No.
you inside the
No.
Chuck and
I know
Bo
where you're
planning
going. No.
conference room here. Like we enjoy doing this. I hope it makes you feel part of things because that's the intent. We're all in
Bringing
this
you into the
together.
nerve
Yes.
center.
Do you guys want to go
No.
to SEC Media Days?
No.
And sit down there and have media interviewing media for 3 or 4 days. And then all the sound bites. We'll have we'll have all the audio, all the video, audio, whatever we need out of there, all the things that get said.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Do you want to go?
I'm going to be honest
down
with
there
you.
at a table at 6 a.m. with some
In Atlanta.
coffee.
When I said, Bo, let's do a show, I wasn't thinking about SEC Media Days. I'm going to be honest with you. Never even crossed my mind. And I hadn't even thought about it until you brought it up just now. And I'm like, oh, God, I didn't think about that.
That wasn't part of the dream.
No, I didn't. I overlooked that.
Yeah. This is when you enter July. What we do in July is you get into all the predictions and the preseason lists, preseason rankings. The Football Power Index inexplicably came out in May or the beginning of June, and they're ahead. Now we're going to get all the top 25 rankings. We're going to get Phil Steele's rankings. We're going to get Athlon's anonymous coach comments on other coaches.
They've
and all
already
that.
started.
Yeah.
I bet those are out. By
Yeah,
now.
let's find some GAs. We'll call them coaches.
I might have to go to. I might have to go to Barnes and Noble early.
We're going to get all these comments, and then we're going to react to them all.
Yeah.
And that's what talking season is.
I think what we should do is send Jackson to SEC Media Days.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
I think Jackson needs to go.
And with no instructions.
No instructions. Just here's a plane ticket. We got you a hotel room. Make it interesting. And see what happens.
That'd be awesome.
It would be fun.
I mean, it would be great.
I mean,
nobody's more equipped to do that and pull it off.
You have no instruction, no anything. Just figure it out.
It's a zoo, man.
Figure
It's
it
a
out.
zoo. It's great.
Athlon does have on their website at least the predicted order of finish for the SEC. So we do already have that.
See?
Where are we finishing?
Well,
I didn't even know they were still publishing at Athlon, but I just remembered it from the past.
Athlon.
We got On 3.
What do you guys think about On 3?
Nah.
I've had this debate with no.
Just hit or miss.
Well,
I think it's tabloid style. I'm not saying it's clickbait, but it's definitely tabloid style.
I won't say anything about like their news or reporting or anything. I don't see anything wrong with any of that. But their rankings are so far off from everybody else's.
Really?
When I if I take
It's true. I'm with Bart on
if
this.
I take
The rankings are bad.
recruiting rankings, top 25, whatever it is, you look at like ESPN, Rivals,
Well, I got a rise out of them,
24/7.
See, that's what I need. I appreciate you speaking up, Edward, because I think this is what I'm going to need personally from you from now on. Because as soon as we get into something like this, and Bart, it goes on the other, Bart rants about how they can't do it. And,
That
the
word
rankings.
ever. That
And
word
it-
ever always comes out.
And I just need, because Bart feels that way about so many things, I just need
Well,
Edward.
there are a lot of stupid people in the world. Okay,
I need Edward to chime in and be
Bart's
like,
here to call him out.
I agree with him on this one.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not all legitimate.
He's
Bart.
not
You might be
just
right
running
about
his
all of
mouth.
them.
I'll give you
time.
an example. Until their most recent basketball preseason or way too early basketball rankings, they're on like their 9th iteration or something like that. We discovered the other day. Until this most recent one, they didn't have Arkansas ranked
In basketball?
In basketball,
In the top 25.
In the top 25
For next
that
year.
roster.
Yeah, didn't have them ranked.
Where others say it's a top 5 roster in the country, they didn't even have them ranked.
Correct.
Well, I mean, they were
Now we're
working the
number
inter-
11.
Yeah.
Now we're number
Which
11.
is more in line with where
They
some of
started with the
other-
interns. And what they're doing, it's like when we edit a film or a documentary, right? They're on the rough cut, but they're showing the rough cut to everyone. and there's like 4 more versions coming.
This is
But
what
they're
I-
letting you watch all of them.
This is what I love about this show. All I said was, hey, what do you guys think about On 3? And here we go.
Well,
Here we go.
Bart gave you some substance.
He did. He did. Thank you, Bart.
But it's
No, I mean, seriously, that's exactly what I wanted to know. I wanted to hear the unvarnished opinions.
I did
of
see
Bart and Edward.
I did see a stat. I don't know if it was from On 3 that we'll get into when we come back about Arkansas. Let's see. It's from who came out with this? It's winning percentage versus ranked opponents.
Oh, I saw
over
that.
the
You
past
sent that
5
out
seasons.
yesterday.
I guess the next round sent this out.
Okay.
Over the past 5
next
seasons.
round.
How did Arkansas do in football? Last 5 seasons against ranked competition.
I'm going to guess not as well as we'd hope.
We'll get into it next on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. Everybody's welcome to their opinion. That's just flat out wrong.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, summer's heating up, and Splash Car Wash is keeping your ride looking fresh with a special deal just for listeners of the Chuck and Bo Show. Right now, buy one Best Wash and get 2 free. One for you, one for your spouse, one for a friend, or just keep them all. It's an easy way to stay clean, cool, and cruising all summer long. That's 3 top-tier washes for just $27. Text Splash Car Wash to 22322 to access this exclusive online-only offer.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yingling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yingling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yingling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
Hey, if you've been thinking about a new ride, now's the time to make it happen. That's because Chevy of Fayetteville is kicking off their summer drive deals with some of the best offers you'll get all year. Trailblazers starting at $23,000, Colorados from only $30,000, the new Equinox EVs from just $30,000. No matter what you're looking for, these deals are real and they won't last long. So don't wait. Head over to Chevy of Fayetteville today. Together, let's drive.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
We never thought much about power outages until we had one during the worst possible time. As a busy mom, there are plenty of challenges in a day. But with Paschal, power outages don't have to be one of them. A whole home generator installed by the pros at Paschal gave me back my peace of mind. The process was easy and understandable. Now, I don't have to worry about losing power when storms arrive. Get a free estimate today and keep the power on with a whole home generator from Paschal. Professional people, professional service. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more. They carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Does the show feel like it's always a friendly environment? I was going to say, just
I
like
guess
the
it
Chuck-
depends on
It's
which side of the fence you're
It's
on.
friendly. Sometimes you get yelled at, but I mean, it's still friendly.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Goodbye. They're leaving. They're leaving. They're mass exodus.
They're heading for the exits. Can you believe it?
Goodbye.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I said yesterday, that is my favorite moment.
That's awesome.
From the entire, of all the Razorback seasons, Razorback moments. That's my
That's
favorite
great.
moment.
That's so
They're
good.
leaving.
That's so
They're
good.
leaving. Goodbye.
How do you not love Z?
That
so
was
good.
that was one of the great moments in Razorback history.
There you go.
Right there.
There you go. Put it in the
Man,
books.
all I had to do was say on 3 a minute ago.
Oh, yeah.
I go to my feed during the break. First ad up on 3. I mean, come on. Everybody's. I mean, the world's full of spies. What's going on out there?
That was a little frightening.
Well,
But
it
happens
is
all the time.
frightening. It's not. I mean, it's so commonplace
It
now.
happens all the time.
It's like, well, they're really listening to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
they are.
They
Yeah.
really are.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they know.
I mean,
see those helicopters up there?
I mean, it's way beyond that. It's way more covert than a helicopter.
Yeah. Well, you're right. That's exactly
they
right.
know
They
it.
do it without you realizing.
At all. Yeah. Helicopters, at least you know they're coming.
Mine's for a hat brand.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
It's a nice looking hat. It's got the state of Arkansas
Stop.
on it.
Just stop. I don't need all this in my feed.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
need
all
anything
there.
else in there.
It's already
You're
there.
going to have on 3 stuff in there today.
We have a Weichert one here
Guarantee, yeah.
after you tell us about
Well,
turning
I didn't know if
houses
we
into
were
homes.
doing it coming into the break or going out of the break. Bart just alerted and said at some point, might do a
I think you could
Weichert
just-
Realtors. Actually, Bart said at some point we need to turn some houses into homes during this next segment.
It's what some people are doing this
That's
summer.
right, and that's what they do at Weichert Realtors. Whether you're buying or selling. It's nice to have someone that understands the real estate market, too. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on out there right now, and you need to know how that affects you, whether you're buying or you're selling. And when you deal with someone who's trained in the business every day, and a Weichert agent's better trained than anybody, you're dealing with someone who can understand those nuances and explain to you what it means to you. Maybe it's your first time out. There are things that are available you might not be aware of. Maybe it's, the best time for you to sell. Maybe it's not the best time for you to sell. Get the advice of a real estate professional. And then when it's time to move, they'll tell you, and the job's going to get done. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978. They're in Northwest Arkansas and Washington and Benton counties, Fort Smith, Branson, and you can always log on to WeichertGriffin.com.
Arkansas has won 21.4% of their games against ranked opponents, according to this graphic that the Next Round put out, which is our friends in Birmingham that do a show, have done for years. Over the past 5 seasons, the Hogs are 6-11 against top 25 competition. That's a low, 17 games in 5 seasons is a low number, which tells me that there were a couple of years in there where people weren't the schedule wasn't as tough as it often is. But, they're only it's so interesting. The separation is not that great. They've got 6 wins. A&M has 9 wins against top 25 competition, for example. Ole Miss is 8-8 against top 25 competition in the last 5 years.
This can't be right.
Maybe it's not.
Because
that's why I credited it where it came from.
How does South Carolina have a better percentage but the same number of wins and more losses? I'm going to have to do some math.
I sent this to you yesterday.
I see that now.
So never mind. We'll talk about Norm DeBryan when we come back. Apparently, this is all a sham. Tell me how many wins Arkansas has against top 25 competition in the last 5 years.
I think they have graphics issues.
Yeah. You make a graphic when we come back. Will you do that?
Sure.
And then Norm DeBryan's going in the Hall of Fame. We're going to talk to him at 7:30. This can't be right.
Well,
this is wrong.
It's been in front of you for 24 hours.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, if you're struggling to get your Social Security disability, or you're buried in debt thinking about bankruptcy, don't wait. You need a legal team that knows how to fight for Arkansans.
That's why you can trust Cadell Reynolds. Bill Reynolds and his team know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's personal injury, disability, or bankruptcy, they've got your back.
Dial 866-314-3728 or visit CadellReynolds.com today.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
As a play-by-play announcer, my eyes are everything. I need to see every detail on the field to call the game the right way. So when cataracts started affecting my vision, I knew I couldn't wait. I went to Dr. Betts and the team at McDonald Eye Associates. And truthfully, I wish I'd done it years ago. The difference is incredible. The whole experience was professional, easy, and honestly life-changing. If your vision's holding you back, take it from me. Don't put it off any longer. Schedule your appointment with McDonald Eye Associates today.
Hey, it's Bo. And for me, business comes down to working with people I like and can count on. And that's Teamwork Roofing and Construction. They do what they say, they're on time, and when they're done, it's like they were never there and you have a brand new roof. Built with expert craftsmanship and the best materials. When it comes to commercial or residential roofing, get the customer care Teamwork Roofing and Construction offers. Check them out on their Facebook page, Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Built on quality, powered by teamwork.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Thank y'all for your show. It's a great format in the morning. It's really nice to have knowledgeable people to wake up to and listen to. So thank y'all.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Which is worse, being shooed or shushed?
Probably shushed.
I mean, you want to start a fight at home?
Chuck, you sound like you have some
Well,
experience.
I'm just saying. Now, being shooed for a guy, being shooed is probably
I'll never forget the first one I went to. Everybody's taking ground. And he would come to practice with a suit on. At fall practice, I'll never forget. And so I'm in the College of Education teaching, first aid and driver's ed and that.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Which is worse, being shooed or shushed?
Probably shushed.
You want to start a fight at home?
Chuck, you sound like you have some experience.
I'm just saying. Now, being shooed for a guy, being shooed is probably worse than being shushed.
Probably so.
For a female, it's been my experience. I can only speak from experience. That shushing is worse than shooing. Shushing is, that's going to get you in trouble.
Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
That's really good advice.
Well, it was that Coastal Carolina coach thing. He shooed me. He shooed me away.
Talking about the umpire.
And, I was reminded of the times when I said, shh. And that did not go well. That did not go well.
I can't even imagine that. Shh. Holy smokes. Wow.
Yeah.
Bart is up in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room, and I was mentioning a graphic, which I thought was from a reputable source. And they are a reputable source, but they got this wrong.
They did.
In the last 5 years, Arkansas has played a lot more ranked opponents than they had on there.
Yeah, so I have Arkansas at 7-22 against ranked teams over the past 5 years. That's 24%.
Okay. And,
winning percentage.
How does that stack up against others?
Well,
a lot of work to do.
I'm not sure yet. I got to go through the rest of the SEC, but probably not well, would be my guess.
But now let me say this. When I hear our fans, hey, how come we can't beat Ole Miss? I want to beat A&M. Ole Miss, 8-9 during that period. A&M, 9-12. So Ole Miss has one more ranked win than Arkansas. A&M has two. But Arkansas has played 29 games against ranked teams over the last 5 years.
That's like
including A&M and Ole Miss almost every year.
Ole Miss has played 17. A&M's played 21. Arkansas has played 29. I mean, I'm not, people can say, and I can hear them now. But, guys, schedule matters.
Yeah.
Schedule matters. It matters a lot who you play.
Every time. That's without question. We can't say what you just said and then also at the same time act like playing in the Big 12 is not an easier path. So, like, as a Razorback fan, if you want to be in the Big 12, you want to be in the Big 12 because you don't want the competition to be the same. And that's part of what you deal with in the SEC. You're playing tougher competition. Now, I know you want to win more games. Everybody does. Everybody over there wants to. And if you go back and look at the best seasons Arkansas has had in football since joining this league, I think what you'll find is some of the other teams that are traditionally better ranked teams every year had a down year, had a lesser year. And Arkansas timed it up where they had a better year. They were a little bit better, and then some other teams were a little bit worse. The margin in this league, in the difference between being 500 and winning 9 games, is very thin.
Oh, you're right about that.
Here's the
So I guess on the positive side of that, you get a quarterback like a Taylon Green who goes out and has a career year, and that can also be the difference if you've got some pieces around them where you get to 8 or 9 wins that year, or maybe more. But that's the line.
That's right.
That's the kind of you get a Darren McFadden, mean, that's
You
what
gotta
makes a
have
difference.
you got to have game changers on both sides of the ball. It's not just enough to have a game changer on offense. I mean, that's enough to win some games and make it exciting, but it's not going to put you at a championship level. You got to have guys that can wreck the game on the defensive side of the ball, and you got to have guys on the offensive side of the ball in one play that can change the entire complexion of the ball game. We've had offensive players like that. You just named one of them. Now, I'm not saying we've had one every year, but we've had some offensive players that could change the game. We've not had guys, we've not had a Jadeveon Clowney. You got to have game wreckers on that side of the ball. Somebody that the other side's got a plan for all week long. And that's what the teams at the top have.
Yeah, hard to get.
Here's one thing I will say, just as we're looking at numbers here, and I feel it's important to keep in mind that Ole Miss and A&M can't play themselves, right? And so, like, what I mean is Arkansas hasn't been ranked for those games. They've been ranked for 2 of the 9 games that those teams have played.
Well, the teams at the bottom are always going to play more ranked teams than sometimes the teams at the top.
Sure.
Because you're
Sure.
you're among the unranked.
If Arkansas was ranked for 4 of the 5 matchups against A&M, as A&M was for those games against Arkansas, well, all of a sudden A&M's played 25 games against ranked teams.
Right.
So it's a little bit more.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, now Ole Miss has had some easy schedules.
Yes.
Ole Miss has had some really easy schedules.
My point is, though, scheduling matters a lot.
It does. It does.
And we sometimes act like everybody's playing the same teams.
Right.
And they're not. And
no, that's right.
Arkansas has gotten the short end on some scheduling stuff.
There's no question. Ole Miss has gotten lucky with some scheduling stuff. Like just this past year, for example, they only played 2 ranked teams the whole year.
I've always been
They played
suspicious.
at LSU and they played Georgia in Oxford.
I think the SEC is fantastic, and I think the office and the administrators do a wonderful job. But I do sometimes look at the scheduling, and I'm like, well, there's a little favoritism going on here, not just in football, but in some of the other sports too.
Talking season.
That's right.
It's going to be the same way for Ole Miss this year, by the way. They play the same teams they did last year.
I guess that's
who's
right.
going to be ranked? Kentucky?
Yeah,
no. South Carolina? Maybe. Maybe not.
I saw
LSU, sure. OU? Probably not. Arkansas? Probably not. Georgia? Yes. Florida? Maybe. Mississippi State? No.
Yeah.
Mississippi State's going to struggle this year.
Is that a guarantee?
Yeah. Like, they're going to be really bad, man. I'm sorry. I'm
sounds
sorry.
bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I saw somebody put together a bunch of Taylor Green highlights on social media.
Yeah.
And I kind of got excited about football.
Yeah.
Like if Taylor puts it all together,
sure.
That guy, he does have what we've seen from his upside is exciting. It does about putting it all together, obviously, as a quarterback. And it's not just him, like all the pieces around. We get all that. But a guy like that, if he settles in and running and throwing, and
if he plays well, if he has a great year, he'll lift the other boats. I mean, that's the way it'll work, and some of the deficiencies will be covered up. I hate to put so much pressure on the quarterback because we do this every year, and I'm as guilty of it as anybody. But man, I think he's the key to it all.
I just looked at Bart, and I don't know if I've ever seen this, but he sort of audibly gagged while looking at his phone. Scrolling through something.
Well, I wanted after I said what I said about Mississippi State, I went straight to the over under, the win total for the season.
Yeah.
3.5.
What are you gonna? Which way you going on that?
3.5.
Which way you going?
I gotta look at their non-conference schedule.
What is their non-conference schedule? Bart's intrigued.
You don't know? I think they're gonna be.
What is your June 24th prediction on Arkansas's win total? Over or under 5.5?
I don't think you want me to answer that question.
What do you mean?
Bart's going under.
Man, it's right now. It's hard for me to see a bowl game this year. Like I think if Arkansas makes a bowl game against this schedule, when you're just looking at talent on the roster compared to the other teams that are on the schedule, because that's all we have to go off of right now. Man, it's hard to find the wins.
Okay, so here's
it's hard to find the wins.
Here's my question.
I'm trying.
No, but a lot of people are talking like this. Not everybody. A lot of people are talking like this, and when they talk about it, I wonder if they actually have decided that Arkansas is going to lose to Arkansas State and Memphis. Have people decided that?
Not. No.
Okay.
I mean, look.
Well, because that gets brought up about how
Sure.
tough the schedule is.
I think
I think they're going to win both of those games.
And they very well may. I would expect them to beat Arkansas State. I think Memphis is going to put up a fight, though. I think they're pretty good. Like if you
that's
think
fine, but they're going to lose, and then Notre Dame's going to come in here and lose. Just so you heard it here from me.
Well, that's not
you,
that's
Notre Dame
certainly
guy.
not gonna
Just so you know, that's also going to happen.
That's
so
certainly
I'm just letting you know where some of the wins are coming from.
Okay. So are they winning like in this scenario? Are they winning like 10 games?
No,
or are
not
we
necessarily.
going to the playoff?
Not
Like,
necessarily,
what's
but I
going
think they'll find a way to get to a bowl game.
I hope they do. I mean, like,
and I think they might be a little bit
I'm not
better
rooting
than. I
against
think they
them.
might be a little bit better than that. But it's talking season. But I'm just saying that their schedule's tough, but it's always tough. But what's interesting is we talk about it like it's tougher because they're playing Memphis and Arkansas State, and they'll be favored in both of those games.
I think
and
the,
I
I think
expect
the
them to
line
win.
on that Memphis game is going to be awfully close.
Oh gosh.
I do too.
I'm serious.
Arkansas will be undefeated when Notre Dame comes back.
Again, my point is they're going to win.
Go
both
to
of those
Ole
games.
Miss and win.
Yep, we're going to go steal one.
I hope you're right.
It's
I hope
talking
you're right.
season. It's talking season.
Well, it's like blackjack. You can't lose every hand, Bart. They got to win some of these games.
Well, Mississippi State might lose every hand. Now look,
We're not talking about that.
I pulled up their non-conference schedule. They got Southern Miss, Arizona State, Alcorn State, and Northern Illinois. Okay, they'll probably win 3 of those games, I would guess. And then Tennessee loss, A&M loss, Florida loss, Texas loss, Arkansas loss, Georgia loss, Missouri loss, Ole Miss loss. 0-8.
Jeez.
0-8. Who are they beating out of that? Like that's the most brutal schedule, SEC schedule I think I've ever seen.
So Mississippi State?
Yeah. Every one of those teams is going to be ranked except for maybe one.
My heart bleeds for them. That's Bart in the Chevy of Fayetteville situation room. Chevy of Fayetteville inside the Fayetteville Auto Park. I saw a bunch of Silverados at the airport yesterday. It's a good-looking truck on the road, man. Fayetteville Auto Park. Go to Chevy of Fayetteville and check out the deals today. They've got it going on. It's summer savings at Chevy of Fayetteville. Inside the Fayetteville Auto Park, they've also got incredible deals on vehicles from Acura, Honda, Toyota, and a huge selection of pre-owned. They've been around 25 years for a reason. Relationships and top-tier service. Award-winning collision departments. If it's routine service or unexpected repairs. Inside the Fayetteville Auto Park, your one-stop shop where you can drive with confidence. Norm DeBrine's coming up around 7:30. He's going in. He was announced yesterday.
Yep.
Going in the Baseball Hall of Fame. We got a couple of fun stories he's told us in the past that we'll get into. But we want to congratulate him and look back at building this baseball program literally from dust to what they have today. It'll be fun.
It will be.
It'll be fun.
I enjoy Norm.
All right, 7:14. Good morning.
We were 0-5. They put us all in the coffin. They just didn't put the nails in.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
With rainy season here and summer just around the corner, make sure your gutters are ready. Hogcroft Gutters, locally owned with over 30 years of experience, does it all. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drain. Fully licensed and insured with a 20-year warranty on every job. Serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And if you're outside those areas, just give them a call or a text. And for a free inspection, visit hoggutters.com. That's hoggutters.com.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
All right, guys, you hear us talk about the Sweat 'Em Edge on the Chuck and Bo Show. You've got your summer lineup set, but what about your skincare? Sun, sweat, and all that time outside takes a toll. Hit up the spa at Sweat 'Em Cosmetic Surgery for a facial or sun damage repair. It's not just for the ladies, guys. Call 479-966-4174. Again, that's 479-966-4174 and get your skin in the game.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Save Sports Radio.
That's special.
The 1-2 pitch. He struck him out swinging. Gage Wood no hits him. The greatest game ever pitched at the University of Arkansas.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Man, that seems like a minute since we had that happen.
I know. It's almost forgotten now.
That was absolutely awesome. I don't know if you took a jet aircraft to Omaha or you're looking to go somewhere else. I've been privileged to be on one of these flights, and, man, it's the way to go if you can do it. Whether it's a golf trip or you want to go you got to get in and out on the same day. Maybe it's a destination wedding. You got 8 or 9 people you need to take, plenty of luggage. You just drive right up to this plane and you fly VIP style. They valet your car, they detail it. You get on the plane, fully stocked, whether you want food or drinks, you're celebrating something. It's full service, man. Jet aircraft is a different experience. A private jet that can get you there. You can skip all the TSA lines. I mean, you save so much time. And maybe you get some people together, pull your money, and have a memory of a lifetime. You can also ask about the Jet Card memberships or even more perks. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, they can come get you, or you can just go right to Drake Field and hop on the plane there. JetNWA.com. That's Jet with 2 T's. Norm DeBryan is coming up here in about 10 minutes. The legendary, now Hall of Fame Razorback baseball coach. I want to play a clip from a Hog Pod we did several years ago with Coach DeBryan on his early years in his career of building this program that eventually he went to 4 College World Series with and became, a power in college baseball. And Dave Van Horn's taking it to another level. But I want you to hear some perspective on where this baseball program started back around 69, 70. So it's a bit of a history lesson. But when you think about where this team is today, it's some good context.
And so I'm in the College of Education teaching, first aid and driver's ed. And that's kind of started the semester, which was the fall semester of 69. I looked up the baseball coach, and he would come to practice with a suit on. At fall practice, I'll never forget the first one I went to. Everybody's taking ground balls and practice is about to start. And so he calls them all up together. And I asked him if I could help him, hit fungos or something. And he said, sure. We spread out. And all of a sudden, a bus drives across the outfield at the old fairgrounds. Not a bus, but a truck. And it stops in the middle of center field. And everybody gets out and they start taking all the band instruments out. And all the players run into the dugout. And he's, okay, we'll see you tomorrow, boys. And I thought, what is this? And they said, well, when the band practices, we can't practice baseball if the band's practicing. So that was it.
How about that? That's where it was.
That's a long time ago now. That's a long time ago. And you think about where it is now, and it's
was that 55 years ago?
Yeah, it's incredible where it started. Sometimes you look at an individual 50, 55 years down the road, and you say, well, they had the vision. I'm sure Norm had a vision of what it could be, but when I hear him talk about what it was like back then, I don't know how you could have the full vision. I mean, I don't know how you could see the forest for the trees, so to speak. There were so many obstacles there. And plus, too, I mean, when you have a system where, hey, if the band shows up, you can't practice baseball anymore, that tells you what you're up against.
I don't mean to go, how I tend to go Oprah on you sometimes and give you a little deep meaning.
Yeah.
But it is a great life lesson because you can't always see that far.
Right.
But if you can just stack one day on top of another and you got an idea of, hey, we can make it better than this, and then you start building, and next thing you know, look at what you have now. And it took a long time to get there. I mean, I don't remember. What year did Baum Walker, what was the first year they played?
96.
In what's now Baum Walker.
They played there in 96. Arkansas baseball I think for the first time anybody really, Razorback fans, knew there was a baseball team. Was 1979 when they played Cal State Fullerton. And the only reason they knew that was because Channel 7 in Little Rock somehow found a way to show the first game when Arkansas won, and then they lost. They ended up losing.
They were runner-up that year.
Yeah.
In the College
World
World Series.
Then, it was true double elimination. They would play 2 games on that final day, and Arkansas lost the last one. That's the first time anybody, I think any Razorback fans even knew there was a baseball team here.
He became the head coach in 1970. He was 28 years old. Mm-hmm. Going into the 2025 Hall of Fame class, 2 Southwest titles, Southwest Conference titles, 1 SEC, 1 SEC West, 15 NCAA tournaments, 4 College World Series, including that 79 runner-up finish that Chuck mentioned a second ago. Norm DeBryan, Hall of Fame, going into Hall of Fame.
And, in the 80s, I mean, they went to Omaha 3 times. I think it was 85, 87, and 89. And that was when ESPN was first beginning to televise the College World Series. Was in 85, I think was the first time I watched Arkansas play in the College World Series. And then, you fast forward 11 years and that ballpark opens. The interesting part in all that was the process they went through before Baum Stadium opened. They were going to build where the parking deck is now. And, Coach Broyles kept holding out. And, it was going to be built, at the old site. And then all of a sudden they had this land down there at down there where it is. And I remember when they broke ground, I was there that day. And to see where it is now is just, I think Clay Henry on his magazine cover put Norm's Reward when Baum Stadium opened that weekend. And I thought that was a very good headline.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That was a great headline.
7-time Conference Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Norm DeBryan. And he's done so much, Chuck, since his retirement for, Razorback baseball in terms of fundraising, the Razorback Foundation, and he's just a fixture.
Well, he's trusted. You know, I've always believed, and I don't want to get off on a different subject right here, but when people give money to an athletic program, I realize we've moved into a much more transactional era now than we were once in. When people give money, they expect wins. And I get that to an extent, but I also believe there's an I always call it faith-based giving, and I'm not talking about necessarily religious faith, but just the faith that what you are giving to is good. The ideal is good. Norm DeBryan, when Norm DeBryan would go out and ask for money for that baseball program, people had faith that his ideal was good, that what they were giving to was a good project.
They trusted
good
him.
people. They trusted him. And that was, to me anyway, watching it all from the outside looking in, that was the key to it all. Because I'm going to tell you, that ballpark did not bring immediate success. I mean, it improved recruiting, and they ended up winning the SEC in '99. But, you know, it was – the baseball program wanted a new facility. They had to have a new facility to compete in the SEC. There was not some groundswell of support from the fans. There was not some, oh, we got to have a new ballpark. And they were lucky to get 1,000 people in to see a game at George Cole Field. But then they built that ballpark. And, I mean, you want to see a real-life testament, build it and they will come. That ballpark's it.
We'll talk to Coach Norm DeBryan. Well said, Chuck. When we come back on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. You guys are part of my family. Everyone that listens to this show is just part of the Chuck and Bo family. We're building a community here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Hey, if you've been thinking about a new ride, now's the time to make it happen. That's because Chevy of Fayetteville is kicking off their summer drive deals with some of the best offers you'll get all year. Trailblazers starting at $23,000, Colorados from only $30,000, the new Equinox EVs from just $30,000. No matter what you're looking for, these deals are real and they won't last long. So don't wait. Head over to Chevy of Fayetteville today. Together, let's drive.
You know what else makes you an Arkansas Razorback fan? Going to the University of Arkansas. How about playing football for the team?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Is there anything worse than being in a line at a convenience store and you got a lottery ticket, Byron? It tests every bit of patience, religion, everything good in your life, it tests.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We're going to talk to Coach DeBriyn here in a second. We're brought to you in part by Oaklawn. You know, Oaklawn is, if you want to play the games, we still got stuff going on. You got golf all summer. You know, we got still a major coming this summer. But then there's the weekend. Like if you're looking for a staycation idea, go down there and you can have a weekend. Not just Oaklawn, but Hot Springs in general. But, you know, you got the resort, the casino, the hotel, the restaurants, the event center. Log on to Oaklawn.com for complete details. And don't forget to download the Oaklawn Sports app, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports. You mind if I play another clip from Coach D?
Go ahead.
On
They're always good.
How he got the head coaching job here.
Somebody said, "Did you know Robbins left?" That was a baseball coach. I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, he's joined Senator Strom Thurmond's staff, and so he's gone." I thought, "Oh my gosh, nobody's going to want this job." It was horrible. I thought I might get it. I applied. I ended up not getting it. I mean, I went to George Cole, was the athletic director. He told me I went in for an interview. He said, that I wasn't going to get the job. And I said, "Well, Coach Cole," I said, "I know you're from Arkansas." And I said, "I really want to coach baseball." And I said, "If you hear of anything that's ever open on a junior college level, a state school," I said, "I would really appreciate if you would tell me." He says, "Troy hired you. Go up on the hill and do him a job." I thought, "Ooh." I walked. I said, "Yes, sir." I left. And after one day, a guy in the PE department says, "George Cole has just called. He wants to see you." But I had kind of a good feeling. I thought, something's going on. And so I go back in there, and he says, "DeBriyn," and he had this real raspy voice, "if you don't mind being second fiddle, we'll give you the job. Sluceric doesn't want it." And he gives me a manila folder, and I'm shocked and happy, and I grabbed the folder, and I said, "Well, thanks, Coach." And I left.
Coach, what was in the folder? Coach Norm DeBriyn joined us. Coach, you there?
Yeah, what was in the folder? What was in the folder?
The whole program.
The whole program. Oh my God!
They didn't care. They just wanted to get rid of whatever.
That's funny.
Oh man.
When you think about that day and compare it now, and by the way, sincere congratulations for the announcement of you going into the College Baseball Hall of Fame. No one deserves it more. When you look back on that now, though, I mean, did you ever imagine you would see what you've seen over the last, 55 years?
Yeah, it's been amazing, Chuck. It just, I think I had dreams. I remember one time dreaming about having lights, and when Lawler and McReynolds and Ray, when they did that, we ended up hosting the tournament and winning that, and so you dreamt, and then all of a sudden Dave Van Horn and his staff, players and coaches, I mean, they've taken this program to, oh my gosh, a level where it is now where, it's kind of like you said, or Nolan Richardson said, he's got that monster, he's got to feed it now.
Yeah. It's, hearing the story, though, of how this thing began and where Chuck's going with his question, and by the way, absolutely, congratulations, Coach. So well deserved. I don't know what took so long, but we're so happy for you. Yeah, we're here. Can you hear me okay? Coach? We might just want to hang up and call him back. I don't know that he's heard us real well. I think we just got
we had a bad signal
bad
all the way
connection.
around.
But I do want to hear, looking back, if you go back to those early days, like what was it really like for the first 10 years? He had 33 years coaching. But, the last 20, I think, were a lot better than the first 10.
He was talking about the lights there. That was 1974. Lawler and Johnny Ray and McReynolds had the same agent, and they all pitched in some money and put lights there at George Cole Field, and that's what got him the Southwest Conference Tournament, which ended up providing, I think, one of the great one of the great moments, in baseball history for Arkansas. But to your point, that was 15 years after he started. I mean, that was 15 years. By the time 1985 rolled around, but getting those lights in early on was a big deal.
Coach, Chuck was talking about, could you ever imagine, what it became and then what it is today? What were the early years, the first 5-10 years? What were they like for you? Just reflecting back.
Yeah, it was a different deal completely. No facilities in field and not in the conference, and truth be known, I tried to get out and I couldn't get out. Nobody'd hire me, and so you just kind of put up with it. And finally, things got a little better. I mean, when we ended up getting George Cole Field and got a few more scholarships and lucky enough to recruit some good players, things started to change a little bit.
The support part of this too. What's amazing to me, you didn't just coach baseball. You had to go out and raise money. You and Coach Broyles, but I know Coach Broyles leaned on you for a lot of that too. I think about the support the baseball program has now. It wasn't always like that, but somewhere along the way, you were able to sort of rally some help.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Bo. The Walkers and Baum, first Charlie Baum, I remember the first $250,000 he gave us. I mean, that was huge. It was like mind-boggling, and I told you how I almost screwed that up. I mean, the American Legion called me and said, Norm, I think this guy goes to your church, and we need some help in our Little League park. We felt like you should go to him. And so I give him a call, and he kind of grunted. He didn't say anything, and I thought, I shouldn't have made an appointment. I shouldn't have done it like that. And we're already into the spring practice. It was like January, February, or whatever. And then they called me back, and they said, Charlie Baum came. We want to thank you. And I said, for what? And he said, well, Charlie Baum said, I hear you guys need some money for baseball. And he said, he wrote us a check for $10,000. And I thought, oh, my gosh. So I'm back calling him again. And we ended up having coffee, and that's how it started.
That's amazing. What was the when you look back, give us maybe a moment from your entire career that I know there'll be a ton of memories, but is there a highlight or a couple for you that was just maybe different than all the other ones?
A fan moment.
Is that what any moment for you, like the most a memory you cherish, maybe more than some of the others?
Well, it's kind of a mixed bag. I remember hosting the first Fayetteville Regional in, I think it was 1999. We had a lead, and I thought like 6-2, and I thought we were going to win that game. And it came down where our closer wasn't getting it done, and I go out to the mound and I tell Rodney and I said, if you come in and take the ball, I said, it's our only chance to win this game. And I honored his request of not pitching anymore because he wanted to be a position player in professional baseball. So anyway, he said yes. And he strikes out the first guy, I think a pop-up. There's 2 outs, and there's 2 strikes, and, we get that out, we win the game. And I'll never forget it. It was the biggest crowd I had seen in Fayetteville. It was at the regional, the Fayetteville Regional. And it was almost an out-of-body experience. And I remember thinking, should I call a pitch? I knew he loved his changeup. And I thought, no. And to my dying day, if I would have called a fastball, he'd have struck them out. We win the game. Sapicki hits a grand slam home run. We ended up losing in extra innings. And so that was a memory that just stays with me. I can almost, and I just know that if I'd have called a fastball, we win the game. I think his adrenaline with that changeup, he left it right out over the plate. The guy was a good hitter, and the rest is history.
Chuck, that's such a coach
Well,
answer.
yes,
that is such
yes,
of all the great
yes,
memories,
yes.
the one that keeps them up
I know,
at night.
I know. But now, let me say this about the 99 season. And, Norm, one of the endearing things about you is you don't toot your own horn. But I'm going to tell you, that team went 22-8 in the SEC. It was tough. And Coach, I'm going to ask you to talk about building in the SEC, how tough that was. But Arkansas, I mean, the 90s, it was a building process, and it all culminated in 1999. Coach, that team went 22-8 in the league, and they got swept at Alabama, which is so remarkable. They were 22-5 the other games. That you had the ballpark built in. Recruiting was beginning to come together. It seemed like at that point, and I just want to get your thoughts on that process, it just seemed like a decade's worth of work came together that year.
Yeah, that's a great point, Chuck. That really a good ball club. I mean, they were winners. I mean, people like Rodney Nye. I think it was that year that we had to win at South Carolina to win the conference, and he hit 3 home runs that day. I mean, that's the kind of player and game changer You're right. The SEC, when we got into the SEC, I felt like finally we were competing in the Southwest Conference, and now we go to the SEC, and, LSU, Skip Bertman's probably the best ever. I mean, they're winning national championships, and I'm thinking, oh, my God, Georgia has won a national championship. And we open up against Georgia, and it's just a memory. I was afraid. I thought, gosh, are we going to compete here? And then, we won a doubleheader.
Swept the doubleheader Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. So that was good. I mean, those are good memories.
That's fun. Well, Coach, we got to ask you before we'll let you go, just your thoughts on learning that you're going into the College Baseball Hall of Fame. And again, congratulations.
Well, thank you. Yes, it's just it's amazing. It's kind of an unreal experience. I'm thinking, what am I doing here? You see these players that go in, like David Price and Strasburg and Mark McGuire and guys like that, and then coaches that won national championships. Ray Tanner's going in. I know Ray real well, so that'll be fun. But just looking forward to it. Les Murakami from Hawaii. I know Les real well. We'd go over there and play them. So all good stuff. Thank you.
Well, hey, nobody deserves it more. What you've done so much more than we could cover here in a segment, right. And you continue to do it. And then the human you are is just remarkable, and the impact you have on others well beyond the game. And we just want to acknowledge that and tip our cap to you today, Coach.
Congratulations, Coach.
Well, thanks a lot, Chuck. Well, we appreciate you.
Absolutely. All the best to you. Enjoy it. Smile. And remember some of the good stuff, too, not just the one pitch.
I want to say one thing before we go to a break. All the things he's done for the Razorback Foundation, raising money, all the things, he does the same thing for his church. Mm-hmm. I mean, probably with even more vigor.
Yeah.
I mean, all he does is do things for other people.
That's exactly
right. He really is that guy.
It's so well said. 7:47, the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. He's Chuck Barrett.
He's Bo Mattingly.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time Hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more, they carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
If you haven't tried a Flight by Yingling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yingling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yingling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, if you're struggling to get your Social Security disability, or you're buried in debt thinking about bankruptcy, don't wait. You need a legal team that knows how to fight for Arkansans.
That's why you can trust Cadell Reynolds. Bill Reynolds and his team know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's personal injury, disability, or bankruptcy, they've got your back.
Dial 866-314-3728 or visit CadellReynolds.com today.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Hey, it's Bo. And for me, business comes down to working with people I like and can count on. And that's Teamwork Roofing and Construction. They do what they say, they're on time, and when they're done, it's like they were never there and you have a brand new roof. Built with expert craftsmanship and the best materials. When it comes to commercial or residential roofing, get the customer care Teamwork Roofing and Construction offers. Check them out on their Facebook page, Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Built on quality, powered by teamwork. Why don't you just kind of style it up a little bit at the game? Let's get your drip going.
Hey, I got a lot more drip than you think.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
See and hear
Tell me
things others
something I don't
see
know.
and hear.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just part of the appeal, right?
Listen.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, if you're dealing with a personal injury or you're struggling to get your Social Security disability or just drowning in debt, call the team that fights for Arkansans. You need a fighter on your side sometimes. Bill Reynolds and the attorneys at Cadell Reynolds know how to get results when it matters most. From car wrecks to denied disability claims to filing for bankruptcy, they've got your back. You need a friend. Don't face it alone. Call Cadell Rentals at 866-314-3728. 866-314-3728. Or visit CadellRentals.com for a free consultation. Cadell Rentals, make the right call.
How about the Pro Hog update? Daniel Gafford, Dallas Mavericks center, intends to sign a 3-year contract extension worth up to $60 million. According to ESPN, Gafford's 26 years old, set to make around $14 million next season before the extension kicks in.
You know, I'm happy for all our former players. I don't know that I've ever been happier for one than Daniel Gafford. I mean, El Dorado kid, you know, to be able to live this kind of life now is it's just remarkable. And you want to talk about life-changing. Man, basketball has changed Daniel Gafford's life, his family's life, everyone in his orbit, and could not be happier.
He was in band in high school. He wasn't playing basketball.
Yeah.
And the basketball coach is like, he's tall, but maybe we could let's see what we can do with this guy.
Hey, everybody's got a story. Everybody comes from somewhere. But Daniel has lived a remarkable story, and I'm very happy for him.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome to watch. By the way, John Calipari has, I think it's right, a 17-year streak of having a first-round pick in the NBA draft.
Kind of iffy.
And this year, Adu Thero is his apparent, if you believe the mock drafts, best shot. And he's
borderline,
teetering around the bottom of the first or early in the second round. We've had, 29, 30, 34. I mean, where will Thero end up?
If he's a first-round pick, I wonder if he won't end up going to somebody in the Eastern Conference. You know, his style of play, the physical style of play, that seems to be more of an Eastern Conference thing. I don't know. We'll see.
When is it's coming up?
Tomorrow. First round is tomorrow. Second round Thursday.
Okay, so the draft begins tomorrow. It's almost 8 o'clock. It's the Chuck and Bo Show on Tuesday, June 24th. Good morning.
Why deal with the stress of commercial travel when you can fly on your schedule with Jet Aircraft? No TSA lines, no baggage claim, no waiting around. Just you and your crew flying in comfort and style. Whether it's a weekend getaway, a golf trip, or planning your football travel for the fall, Jet makes it easy. Seats up to 9 with a full bar, custom catering, and plenty of space. Visit Jet NWA for pricing and more. That's Jet with 2 T's.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
We never thought much about power outages until we had one during the worst possible time. As a busy mom, there are plenty of challenges in a day. But with Paschal, power outages don't have to be one of them. A whole home generator installed by the pros at Paschal gave me back my peace of mind. The process was easy and understandable. Now, I don't have to worry about losing power when storms arrive. Get a free estimate today and keep the power on with a whole home generator from Paschal. Professional people, professional service. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Why don't you just kind of style it up a little bit at the game? Let's get your drip going.
Hey, I got a lot more drip than you think.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
story. It's a clickbait article. I didn't win any awards.
I don't know. Already a fan favorite across the natural state, Barrett is now the undisputed national voice of college sports excellence.
Wow.
That is an actual fake news article.
Yeah, there's a lot of that out there, but
it is total and complete clickbait.
No, but here's the thing. Now, if we just follow the way of the world, we'll make it true.
This is the same place that reported my death.
Yes,
like
if you think
4 or 5
about it,
months
how
ago.
remarkable is that? I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
The show of record for Razorback fans.
Driving my son to school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
This program meant a lot to me. Took a chance, and they just felt like family when I stepped on campus. So it's truly a blessing. You know, my teammates love them to death, and coaches as well.
What's your last message to Arkansas baseball?
I love you, Arkansas.
It's so nice. Vahiva Aloy, just looking back on the Golden Spikes Award. I know y'all have already covered that, but congratulations from me too.
Oh, I mean, it's that's the highest honor you can have as a college baseball player. I'm sure the personal thanks from you is that's what puts it over the top.
A little extra.
Wow. Yeah, that was nice, Edward. Wonderful.
A lot of stuff going on over there today. Did I just bring back some?
Yeah, we got some weird things.
We got some mojo going on over there.
I don't know what's happening.
Going on behind the scenes today. I don't know what I did, but I mean, I just showed up. I'm here. I mean, it's just maybe I'm just still in a haze.
Well, it's when you walked by and started punching all those buttons a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Chuck just went outside to warm up a little bit.
I did. It's so cold in here. You walk up the stairs, it's like a wave of cold air.
Dang, it's awesome. I love it. Hey,
see your breath.
It's talking season. Little recap. Norm DeBrine's going in the Baseball Hall of Fame, College Baseball Hall of Fame. Congratulations to him. We had him on earlier. If you ever want to hear Norm's story, episode 2 of the Hog Pod, it's quite a journey, man. From literally nothing.
You won't be able to stop listening.
Oh, it's hilarious. He's so good at it. You can't believe that this is where the baseball program actually started, getting kicked off the field by the band at the fairgrounds, to what it's become today. And I saw a story at Whole Hog Sports as well about just replacing the guys that are leaving, who's leaving,
right,
who's coming in. We won't get into all of that right now, but you could go read that. But, in the transfer portal era, you just aren't quite sure exactly what it's going to look like next year. But they got a lot of solid guys coming back, a lot of really good guys coming back. They got some really good incoming freshmen. They had the number 3 recruiting class. They have 19 freshmen that they've signed. Now, here's the tricky part with baseball every year. You don't know what's going to happen in the draft and how much money players will get offered, and they can elect to come to college even after being drafted, depending on how much money they have. That's not true of the NBA, which these guys that are going to get drafted tomorrow and the next day are going to be they're in the NBA. And we'll see where Adu Thero goes and how all this shakes out for those guys in the draft the next couple of days. But in football, talking about transfer portal, we're in talking season now. Yeah. And so there's going to be a lot of stuff just predicted and said, and we're going to be unpacking that. And in July, we'll get all the conference media days, and there'll be just a bunch of talk coming and preseason magazines coming out all of July. I saw Richard Davenport wrote something.
I saw that too.
That was what we get every few years, and it's a real indicator of one of the challenges that Arkansas faces when it comes to being a top 25 or a top 15, or if you want to be a top 10 football program. One of the big challenges that we talk about, and I don't know what it is, like some people want to ignore it or act like you just overcome it, but there's nothing historical that says that that's accurate. And it doesn't mean you quit trying, but it just the challenge remains that we don't, as a state, produce a lot of pro players. And we know this league produces more NFL players than any other league. So according to RD, a recent Max Preps report of 50 states and the amount of NFL draft picks each state has produced in the past 10 years emphasizes Arkansas's lack of in-state talent. Of the states in the SEC, Arkansas ranks last. As expected, California, Florida, Georgia, and Texas are the top producers of NFL talent. Of the 2,564 selections in the NFL draft over the past decade, nearly half of those players came from California, Florida, Georgia, or Texas. Florida led the way with 311 draft picks, followed by Texas, 289, California, 230, Georgia, 217. Ohio produced the fifth most picks with 108. Louisiana, and I think this is still true, per capita produces more than anybody. So at 103, that's a smaller state. They got 103. North Carolina had 96. Alabama totaled 90. Pennsylvania, 81. Illinois rounded out the top 10 with 72. So Arkansas has produced 17 draft picks in that same period of time. Louisiana, 103. Alabama, 90. Georgia, 217. Florida, 311. Arkansas, 17.
Here's what bothers me about that is that, we want to beat the M schools. You hear me say that a lot. You got to beat Missouri, got to beat Mississippi State, got to beat Ole Miss. During that same period, Arkansas had 17 draft picks. Mississippi had 56. Mm-hmm. Missouri had 41. Tennessee had 53. Those are the bordering states right there. Now, look. It doesn't mean because you don't have an abundance of pro football players, you can't have a decent college program. But in our league, the SEC and the Big Ten, they're as close to the NFL as you're going to get. And in our league, the teams that win are the teams that are stocked with pros. I mean, look at Arkansas baseball, guys. There's a lot of pros on that team. There's a lot of guys that are going to be playing professional baseball. Some of them are going to make the big leagues. Same for all these teams that we've just been watching in baseball. It's the same in all the sports. In the Southeastern Conference, if you want to win, you better have future pros because the team you're playing does. And the idea that you're going to consistently beat all those pros with all your non-pros, that's a little naive. I mean, that's naive thinking. It's just not going to regularly happen here or anywhere else.
What's interesting to me, or what I'm kind of wondering, and we'll see it play out, does anything change because of the transfer portal and rev share? And what I mean is traditionally all the things that we just talked about, those schools have the best recruiting bases. And as we've mentioned on this show, and it's been talked about all over SEC conversations, is there's only 6 teams that have ever won the SEC. The 3 powers that traditionally when we had divisions, it's Georgia, Florida, Tennessee in the East. And then back when we had, the divisions west would be Alabama, Auburn, and LSU. Nobody else has ever,
not since 77.
Won the SEC. And now you bring Oklahoma and Texas in, and they're traditional powers as well with great recruiting bases. And they'll probably, one of those schools, if not both of them, will end up probably winning one. But does the transfer portal change any of this? Because traditionally, you just watch the recruiting rankings, and these schools are at the top with the recruiting rankings because they have the most in-state talent. And, yeah, you can lose some to other schools and whatever, but, if you're Georgia, most of the time you're getting the players in your state that you want. And that's a big number to pull from. Now that you have the transfer portal, can you change that? Does that change? How much does it change? And here's the other thing. There can be, I don't know how much it will actually happen, but there could be a situation where some of these powers end up not hitting as well in the transfer portal as they thought, and maybe not being quite as good. We don't know. We know less about teams in this talking season and these previews than we've ever known because of the portal.
Well, right. I mean, for example, I've seen Cam Shanks named a preseason all-conference, all-America type. We've never seen him wear a Razorback uniform before.
Not only that, he's from Alabama, Birmingham.
Yeah, so
it's not like he came from a power school or was a 5-star, whatever.
Some of it's catching lightning in a bottle. Some of it's getting a little bit lucky. I'm going to draw an analogy again to baseball because the season just ended. Arkansas is in a position in baseball where they're going to get the best portal guys. The best portal guys are going to go to Arkansas, Tennessee, LSU,
Texas.
That's where the best portal guys are going to go. In football, we're not in that group. We're not in the group where the best portal guys go. We have to catch lightning in a bottle, and hopefully a guy like that will be that sort of player. I was talking a little bit earlier about game changers. You need a game changer in special teams too. Maybe he's that guy. But Arkansas, when you're in a state, when you're in a small state that doesn't produce an abundance of Division I or NFL talent, just by virtue of that, you become, in a sense, a portal school, whether you want to be or not. Because in our case, again, we're not a state that produces, Division I, SEC, Big Ten type player after SEC, Big Ten type player. There have been 17 guys drafted by the pros in 10 years. That's not nearly up to par with what the other states in our league are producing. So you got to go other places and get them. We've always had to do that. But now with the portal, you got to bring in guys who can play today. You can't go get a lineman from East Texas and say, well, I hope he can play in 3 years. He's got to play now. And so, again, there's luck involved. There's a lot of luck involved.
There is, because you don't ever know. I mean, look, at some level, you got an idea, but you don't ever know. And this isn't true in business. Until you hire somebody and they actually come to work in your organization, how do they fit? How does it go? Because we see stories all the time of, players being in a different situation and it working out in a much better fashion for them. I mean, look, Cam Kojel's an example of this in baseball. He's at Auburn or he's at Vanderbilt.
They got him from Vanderbilt. Great player.
He comes here and he turns into, a guy that's one of the best in the league. Vahiva Aloy came from where? He just won the Golden Spikes Award and came from where?
Sacramento State.
Sacramento State. I mean, these are the stories that you can get in the transfer portal. But again, I'm not saying they got lucky with those guys. They obviously evaluated them, but we didn't know when they came here.
That's right.
That those things were going to be true. And if you want to compare it to football, we don't know. Is this Cam about Omega Blake, the guy that was at Charlotte that led the NCAA in receiving last year, but he did it at Charlotte. Well, what does that mean here? We've seen the upside for Taylon Green. What does a second year under Petrino really look like for him? What about the offensive linemen that they went out and got by addressing those issues in the portal? And, the same, all of those things are also true on other teams.
Sure.
Which makes it so hard, maybe harder than ever. I still expect all the traditional, teams like Alabama and LSU and Georgia, just to name a few, to be really good. How big of a step does Auburn take this year? I mean, because it's been un-Hugh Freeze and un-Auburn-like so far.
They got to get the right quarterback for his situation or his system and all that.
Does Alabama?
I'm not sure they've got it yet.
Does Alabama take any sort of a step back? Or what are we expecting? How is this whole thing going to go with Kalen DeBoer?
I think with Alabama, the question is, can they take a step forward again? They've taken a step back.
That's fair.
And my hunch is they are. This is how it's going to be. I don't see Alabama, and I could be wrong, but I don't see Alabama becoming again what they were, with those vintage Saban teams. And it's not that Kalen DeBoer is not a great coach. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm not sure Alabama or anybody is going to do that again. Maybe they will, but I don't know. I'm inclined to think that what we saw from Alabama last year, with one or two exceptions, I sort of think that's going to be Alabama. Hey, if you're having trouble with your gutters or the drainage around your home, Hog Trough Gutters is the company we recommend. There are a lot of reasons. Locally owned's part of it. Around for 30 years is a big part of it, too. And they do it all. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching work, French drains. They're fully licensed and insured. Every job comes with a 20-year warranty. They service all of Northwest Arkansas. They service all of the River Valley. If you've got an issue, take a picture, send it to them, text it to them. Sometimes they'll tell you you don't need us. Sometimes they'll tell you we'll be right out. Don't wait. Prices, they don't ever seem to be going down. That means gutters, fascia, soffit, gutter guards,
Get your work done now. Call them, get in touch with them, hoggutters.com.
We're a little bit over our head
Well,
here,
I
but
know.
we're doing the best we can. We're doing the best we can.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments just call for something unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you don't just buy a diamond. You create an unforgettable experience. Their newly remodeled space is stunning with Cafe B right inside and their in-house diamond expert that'll help you find the perfect piece every time. That's just part of the Blakeman's experience. When you see the purple bag, you know it's something special. It always saves the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
As a play-by-play announcer, my eyes are everything. I need to see every detail on the field to call the game the right way. So when cataracts started affecting my vision, I knew I couldn't wait. I went to Dr. Betts and the team at McDonald Eye Associates. And truthfully, I wish I'd done it years ago. The difference is incredible. The whole experience was professional, easy, and honestly life-changing. If your vision's holding you back, take it from me. Don't put it off any longer. Schedule your appointment with McDonald Eye Associates today.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Hey, it's Bo. And for me, business comes down to working with people I like and can count on. And that's Teamwork Roofing and Construction. They do what they say, they're on time, and when they're done, it's like they were never there and you have a brand new roof. Built with expert craftsmanship and the best materials. When it comes to commercial or residential roofing, get the customer care Teamwork Roofing and Construction offers. Check them out on their Facebook page, Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Built on quality, powered by teamwork. Today's been it's been a strange day.
Yeah, we've had some struggles here and there. Let's just be blunt. Can we be blunt?
Well, it's 50-50 at best.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We keep threatening to show behind the scenes live on the stream. It's going to happen someday. We're all going to get fired for it. There's just like total chaos.
It's mayhem around here. It really is.
The The Chuck and Bo Show.
Flight by Yuengling, Bart. Raise a flight, raise a glass, next generation of light beer. When you're watching a draft tomorrow night or whatever, get the 16-ounce resealable aluminum bottle.
Like a good cold beer and an NBA draft.
And nothing like
Who
that.
doesn't?
Yeah. It's
way to go.
95 calories, but it tastes like a Yuengling. Flight.
Some places have it on draft now, too.
Yeah, and I would ask when you go in, and if they say they don't have it, I would ask them why.
Demand.
But you know,
demand.
Like Walk-Ons has it. I know they've got
it's great on draft, too.
Special going at Foghorns and other places. I mean, it's ask about it in the store, ask about it in your next watering hole. Next time you get together, don't just have a beer. Get a Flight by Yuengling and raise the bar. The next generation of light beer. 877-377-6963 if you want to call or text the show. We don't tell people this enough. You can listen to the show on demand at Chuck and Bo Show on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get podcasts. Like if you want to hear the Norm DeBryan interview, you missed it earlier, you just go to the podcast, you find it there. It's easy. It's also archived on YouTube. If you ever want to, if you just listen to the show, we got some good-looking people on camera around here. Looking at you, Bart.
Well, I don't know about
that.
Bart dresses with the YouTube feed in mind. I never think about it.
I'm driving to the airport on Friday listening to you clowns, and Chuck says that my face on your physique is a winning combination.
That's it, right
That's how I'm going on my long weekend to the Kenny Chesney show at the Sphere, and I didn't know what to do about that.
I don't love that either, man.
I didn't know how I felt about that on Saturday when I was at the pool. I didn't know really what to do with that.
I said it for effect.
Yeah.
And clearly it had an effect. Hit the target.
It didn't really work for either of us.
I never really intended it to.
I did feel slightly taller while I was walking around out there. I was just, I had kind of a smile on my face.
Oh, you would have gotten one hell of a sunburn, I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I had a lot of sunscreen on. I did okay there, but how does that work for you in the sun? Like, what do you do?
I put a lot of sunscreen on.
Yeah,
slather.
Do you paint yourself? You got like a spray. You got like a spray can of like spray paint.
No, I've got some
thick stuff.
Well, I mean, it's SPF a lot, but it's reapply. If I'm out like playing golf or something, I usually put some on before I play, and then at the turn I'll reapply. If I'm out at the beach or something, it's going on like every hour.
Yeah, I mean, you learn that. Take care of that. That's good.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna tell you guys about this, but I'll just go ahead and throw it in there.
Please.
Well, I'm gonna ask a question actually. You guys have any goals for the summer?
I thought you were just going to say you guys have any goals.
I mean, it's been a while since we talked. Maybe we should
mean
do
the summer?
Yeah, how about a mid-year accounting on our New Year's resolutions? Do you remember any of them?
I do not. No.
I don't really remember.
If I read 10 books, do I get a free personal pan pizza?
I quit thinking about it. I just kind of, they just kind of poof. There they went. I just didn't know if you had any, I feel like we're midway, we're like summer's ending, and I feel like it's been raining the whole summer.
It really has. You look at it, it's going to be the 4th of July weekend here in just a couple, less than 2 weeks. And it's like, that sort of signifies that, hey, football's right around the corner.
I know. And you feel like your outdoor summer activities haven't really happened at the rate that maybe they normally would.
We've gone from the rainy season directly into the dog days of summer, so it seems.
It's hot.
Yeah.
I do enjoy a summer evening. The sun's out past 8 o'clock.
I like to sit outside at night. I like to sit outside every evening.
It's cooled
and
down
last
a little
night
bit.
was a nice night.
Yeah, and you can get 9 holes in. If you like to play golf,
you can.
You can go after work. You can go get just pretend you get off at 5, 6 o'clock.
That's the move.
You can still get out and play for 2 hours.
If everybody will get out of your way, you can get in 18.
Right.
That's
if
right.
If you can play in a hurry, and you can really get you can do some damage out there.
That's when you go off on the back nine and avoid everybody.
That's right.
But I mean, we've had cart path only on most golf courses that have been getting all this rain most of the time since it's since spring.
Yeah.
I've got your New Year's resolutions, Bo, if you want to hear them.
Well, I don't think we should do this exclusively to me.
Well, you're the only one who wrote a list and said
Made
that
a
on
presentation
the show.
of it.
Yeah. Made a big deal.
You're
out
the
of
only
it.
one who did
All
it.
right.
So they're here if you want to
Yeah,
listen.
that's
to
fair. Why not? Let's. I mean, I'm just going to tell you right now.
You brought it up.
I
You
brought
asked
up-
if we wanted to
I
do
did.
a review.
I did. I'll do anything for the show, Chuck. You
Yeah,
know
I
that.
know you will. You're a
Yeah,
giver.
I'll do anything for the show.
Sacrifice yourself.
So what you're gonna do? Play them, and then I'm gonna tell you how woefully short I've fallen.
Yeah, I think that's what Edward's going.
So
for.
No, I just pulled it up. I
so
pulled
if
it up.
if I bat
You called
300,
for the audio. You
if I-
called for the audio,
If
so
I bat,
found it.
if I bat 300 on this, I just want to get this out of the way before we start. Do I go in the Human Hall of Fame?
It's not baseball. It's not baseball. It's not baseball.
Chuck says no.
Yeah.
So that 3 out of 10 doesn't work on character
I
traits.
think it
Not in
does.
real life.
Yeah.
For resolutions,
What do you got?
most people are over
Okay,
on
all
resolutions.
All right, what do we got?
right,
What do we
there we
got?
go.
Let's go to the tape.
Read at least 4 books in 2025. Have at least 15 minutes of personal development time every day. Talk to my parents on the phone at least once a week. Spend more time at the house. Implement some personal disciplines. Tighten the budget up. Cook more. Spend more intentional time with each of the kids. Learn a new language. Win at least one scratch off. Hit a superfecta.
Yeah.
Bench press 225. Start a burner Twitter account. Develop some more bad habits.
Yeah. I'm going to cuss more. And I'm going to, develop some more bad habits.
Yeah.
Start smoking.
I had about half of those.
That's great.
That's
Hey,
good.
okay.
Congratulations.
And Chuck had 2 there at the end.
Yeah, I had. I've hit about half of those.
That's really good.
I don't really want to get into which ones they were.
Yeah, we don't have to specify.
Something
I
about
did-
bad habits.
I did check off. I did win a scratch off thanks to Chuck.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
great.
I did. Chuck got me one of this $1 scratch.
How much you win in that superfecta?
I have not won it. Have not hit. I don't even think I've bet a superfecta.
You
I haven't
can't
even
win
tried.
if you don't
Well,
bet.
You
that's
miss
right.
100% of the shots you don't take.
That's right.
I mean, if you don't go to Blakeman's, you won't see the selection they have.
That's right.
You won't have the experience. Hey, Blakeman's Fine Jewelry is a perfect spot for any occasion. If you're coming on, some sort of anniversary. I ran into some friends who were celebrating an anniversary this weekend, going to the Kenny Chesney show. But you can mark the moment at Blakeman's because it's more than jewelry. It's about your story. Go in there and have the experience. Get the Prosecco or a latte from their Cafe B, Onyx Coffee Bar in there. But just walk around and shop. It is just a jewelry experience unlike any other. I mean, it really does feel like you're in New York City somewhere when you're shopping in there. But you get the hospitality that you would expect at Blakeman's. More than jewelry. It's about your story. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
I don't need Chat GTP. I've got Chuck GTP.
Amen.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
At the Stonebreaker Hotel, we believe in the art of gathering, whether over a thoughtfully prepared meal or a quiet moment on Markham Hill. Start your day with breakfast classics from the all-day menu, served from 7:30 to 1. Savor shareable bites from the bar and lounge menu until 10. And let the dinner menu from 5 to 9 bring familiar flavors with a fresh twist. And for a weekend well spent, how about brunch? Rooted in connection, designed for comfort. Learn more at StonebreakerHotel.com.
I am amazed at the number of people who think they're smart.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, sir. Anybody that says sleep's overrated is not 66 years old. I'm going to tell you right now.
Boy, you're not lying.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
835 WT Equipment. I'll tell you, if you've got work to do, this summer, you need to remember that name, WT Equipment. They're a family-owned, locally operated dealership. 8 locations across Arkansas. Now, whether you're running a farm, whether you're managing a job site, or whether you're just working your own land, WT Equipment has the tools to get it done. And I mean trusted brands, New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and the legendary Bobcat. They've got a great staff. They've been around a long, long time. Williams Tractor is what a lot of you in Northwest Arkansas probably know them as. WT Equipment is the name to remember now. If you're looking for dependable equipment and folks who treat you like family, stop by your nearest WT Equipment location or visit WTEquip.com. And let's get to work.
It's National Take Back the Lunch Break Day. You said get to work, but don't forget to take lunch.
Yeah.
Have people gone away from the lunch break?
I think sometimes maybe people aren't allowed to take a lunch break anymore, and they're wanting to take it back. They're wanting their 15 minutes back. I don't know.
I didn't know that.
I honestly don't know.
I felt like after COVID, most people take half the day for lunch.
Well, I mean, I've worked in radio my entire life, and it's like lunch/vacation. I mean, a guy goes to lunch, you wonder if he's quit sometimes. He's so long coming back.
That's where the 3-martini lunch came about.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I feel like ever since COVID and working remote, we have half-day lunch breaks now.
Yeah.
I didn't know that people weren't taking lunch breaks. I mean, look, I know that it happens some places. I know that that's a broad statement I'm making. But I think that a lot of people are taking longer lunches than they ever have. And I know I'm talking to you, and you don't even get one, and I'm sorry. You got a sack lunch, and you're trying to eat it in the truck in between jobs. I've been there too. But, yes, if that's you, you need to look at your boss today and say, I don't know if you know what today is, but I'm taking my day lunch break.
I'm pulling over to the side of the road for 20 minutes, and I'm eating my sandwich in peace.
Take my 30 minutes somewhere in the shade.
That's right.
Absolutely. I forgot to pack a lunch, so I'm going to have to get one. And then we'll start time when I get back and I begin eating. Oh, but you got to take some time, right? Got to take some time to enjoy lunch.
Unwind.
Do you eat lunch?
I do eat lunch.
What meal do you skip a meal? Do you skip breakfast sometimes?
Sometimes I will eat breakfast and then eat one meal around 2:30, and that'll cover the rest of the day. Yeah, that'll cover.
No
the rest
snacking
of the day.
while you're in the recliner, maybe
older.
watching a TV show.
You eat less as you get old. You guys will discover that.
Do you have who in here? Well, I hear you on that.
I'm going to start making a list of all the things that Chuck says you'll discover when you get my age, or you'll discover when you get older.
Well, and
then down the line, I'm going to be like, man, Chuck was really off about that. Or Chuck was pretty on.
You'll say he was exactly right about that.
That's called wisdom.
Yeah.
That's why you got to find, a mentor to run alongside you, Bart, in life that's 10 years ahead of you. You got to find 10 years.
I'm not the
20's
one,
too many.
by the way. Just for the record, I'm not the one.
I didn't say you were, Chuck.
Most people can give good advice to other people, even if they don't follow it for themselves.
That's true.
So it's still, there's some value in looking 10 years ahead. So I heard this somewhere. Don't go 20 years. Have somebody that's about 10 years ahead of you, because that's the short enough time frame. 20 years is like they've kind of forgotten what 10 years ago was maybe like. But 10 years, I can go through a pretty good last 10 years of my life and tell you everything not to do. I remember most of that, right? But 20 years down the road, it's a little more difficult. But not eating as much, I hear that's a thing. You don't need to, you don't
eat as much.
Yeah. Now, does anybody else have a problem snacking at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock,
I've never heard of that.
Before bed.
I've never heard of that.
Right before bed. You're watching TV, you're watching your favorite show, you're winding down from the day. I know what somebody's thinking. You don't know why you're watching TV at night. You need to be reading a book. Turn the blue screen off.
Well, if you wanted to hit, wanted to hit your New Year's resolution, you would be reading a book.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, that's one of them. I'm about halfway there.
Okay.
Now it is a signed reading from my therapist, but that's a
well, still counts. Well, it still counts.
It's required to make it. I wish I could say I'm doing it all on my own, but that's good. But I have I just have a tendency I want to have something like ice cream. I don't know what it is.
That'll go away someday.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm
That'll
looking
go
forward
away.
to that.
Yeah, that'll go away.
I'm looking for. You don't have a sweet tooth? Do you eat candy?
Not
You
at-
eat like
no,
Reese's peanut butter
yeah,
cups?
yes, absolutely. But I don't have to have ice cream anymore.
Yeah.
You know, at night.
So when you're watching TV, like a game at night, you're not even tempted really by snacking.
Well, sometimes,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
But if we're honest, and you're watching a game, most of the time it's just like nervous eating.
Yeah.
You know, you're just passing the time.
Yeah.
So
Get that smart popcorn or whatever.
Yeah.
Try to be healthy with it.
Yeah, well, you know, you got to go to the store and get this stuff, and that's what gets me. Yeah, you know, I've discovered that if there's no food in the house, you will not eat. If you don't keep snacks, you won't snack.
You don't have any kids.
That's right. If you don't keep snacks around,
You can't say that if you have kids.
Well,
Child services will be right
what
over.
I'm saying is that the key is just not to have it there.
Yeah, oh, I get that.
You know,
Yeah, you just kind of that does help for sure. Birthday today, Lionel Messi, 38. Moss Plus is a drink that's out now. It's not a Gatorade, but it's kind of like one of these hydration drinks. Moss Plus. It's Lionel Messi's drink. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. Well, now you do. It's tasty. It's good. It's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You try it. I'll get some. I'll bring it in here.
Please
All right.
do.
It's also National Pralines Day.
I like
What would you have done without knowing that?
Yeah.
Probably not had a praline.
Do you have pralines? You like pralines?
I mean, it's like I'll eat one. It's not my favorite thing in the world. It's not the sweet treat that I'm going to go for.
What about pralines and cream?
No, that's fine. I mean, I'll eat it. Again, I'll eat it. It's not what I'm going for, though.
Did you? I saw this over the weekend. I wanted to ask you if y'all talked about it. Did you see the Wisconsin suing Miami for tampering story?
Yes. Yes.
We're going to see probably some more of
Stealing
this.
players.
Yeah.
Jim Morris says he's going to out all of them. He says he's going to tell on everyone.
That
that's
sounds
been
like a Jim
tampering.
Morris
Yeah,
thing
it
to
does.
say.
It does. Yeah, it really does.
So basically, it sounds like the way they're doing this is you have a legal situation now where, you know, let's say Bart's a player at Wisconsin and he's in the Wisconsin collective, and so they've got him signed to a contract for all the money he's making. But part of that contract is his obligations to the NIL things that he's got to do for, let's just say, Applebee's, okay, in Wisconsin. And now he's left and gone to Miami. And Applebee's, like the collective's on the hook with Applebee's for this guy representing him. And so they're like, this is interference with a contract. Now, will any of this go anywhere? I don't know. But college athletics has turned into court, like litigation across the board.
You know, we were talking about this a little bit yesterday, and the one thing that I wonder about is is there a mechanism in place to make it a little bit more like the pros where, you know, we do away with this, well, it's not pay for play. You know, we do away with this charade, and basically they get game checks.
Yeah.
You know, basically you get game checks. Let's stop this charade about I'm going to pay you $20,000 to go read some children's stories. Let's stop this. Let's stop it.
Cat in the hat.
And so, you know, if we're going to pay him to play, let's pay him to play. And, you know, if you can work something out on your own, if people actually think you're a good spokesman, we'll go for it. But we're not going to overpay you just to pad your pocket so you can, you know, under the guise of some kind of NIL advertising marketing deal. We're paying you to play ball, and that's when we're going to pay you.
The college athletics.
I'm not saying that's the answer. I'm just talking. It's talking season.
Yeah, it is.
But it of course, you know, when these guys get their money up front and they hadn't played a game, I mean, first off, really, a guy comes to your school, he hadn't even played a game, but you're going to try to convince me there's value in him marketing your product? Give me a break. There's no value whatsoever until he does something good out there on the field.
Yeah, have we gotten any updates on the Iamaleava dude that, you know, like, did he pay half or double back or whatever?
No updates.
No
there.
updates.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm sure that'll drag out for a while.
Yeah, 10 years from now.
might get a check.
Well, at
10
some
years from
point,
now, we'll be like, "Hey,
you
remember that?"
got to question the wisdom in how long do you go to try to recoup $200,000?
It's money in court.
The
lawyers are making all the money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the answers to any of these questions. I'm just saying that at some point, I mean, what's the return?
Yeah, it's not why we got into it, is it, Chuck? We'll just talk about like win totals. How good's the quarterback?
Mississippi State 3.5 over under.
Yeah,
is it 3.5?
It is. It
is that what it
literally
was,
is
3.5?
Yeah.
And you got them.
And you're going the under.
Well, I'm not sure I'm going to go under, but I think that's the play. If
You're so into Mississippi State in this total, it's crazy. Like, you went through their whole schedule earlier.
It's brutal. It's like the worst schedule I've ever seen. Outside, at least from a conference standpoint, they're not going to win a game in SEC play.
Oh, yes, they will. They'll win one.
Oh, I don't know.
Is Chad Morris there? I mean, come on. It's 8:46. Good morning.
He's out of coaching.
Chuck and Bo Show. Chris in Fayetteville. You're on the news, weather, information station.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, we're full service, baby.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, summer's heating up, and Splash Car Wash is keeping your ride looking fresh with a special deal just for listeners of the Chuck and Bo Show. Right now, buy one Best Wash and get 2 free. One for you, one for your spouse, one for a friend, or just keep them all. It's an easy way to stay clean, cool, and cruising all summer long. That's 3 top-tier washes for just $27. Text Splash Car Wash to 22322 to access this exclusive online-only offer.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
We never thought much about power outages until we had one during the worst possible time. As a busy mom, there are plenty of challenges in a day. But with Paschal, power outages don't have to be one of them. A whole home generator installed by the pros at Paschal gave me back my peace of mind. The process was easy and understandable. Now, I don't have to worry about losing power when storms arrive. Get a free estimate today and keep the power on with a whole home generator from Paschal. Professional people, professional service. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, if you're struggling to get your Social Security disability, or you're buried in debt thinking about bankruptcy, don't wait. You need a legal team that knows how to fight for Arkansans.
That's why you can trust Cadell Reynolds. Bill Reynolds and his team know how to get results when it matters most. Whether it's personal injury, disability, or bankruptcy, they've got your back.
Dial 866-314-3728 or visit CadellReynolds.com today.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
With rainy season here and summer just around the corner, make sure your gutters are ready. Hogcroft Gutters, locally owned with over 30 years of experience, does it all. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching, and French drain. Fully licensed and insured with a 20-year warranty on every job. Serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And if you're outside those areas, just give them a call or a text. And for a free inspection, visit hoggutters.com. That's hoggutters.com.
So I spent yesterday, you mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck and I started the show. He said we want to deal with smart people, smarter than us. It's going to take a while for them to show up because they've been dumbed down, but they'll show up.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, I want to talk to you about my friend Buzz Sawyer over at Sawyer's Construction. Fellow broadcaster, voice of the Northside Grizzlies, where Jalen Williams and Isaiah Joe play.
Yes, sir.
Hey, if you've had an estimate on some work you're having done around your home and you've been shocked by the prices, they're too high, give Sawyer's a call. They've been making quality affordable since 1990. They're locally owned and operated. That's a big deal with us. They serve the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Sunrooms, patio covers, driveways, windows. They do decorative concrete work, and they do everything from permit to completion. There's 100% financing available, no jobs too large, no jobs too small. Quality workmanship. Check them out online, Sawyers-sunrooms.com.
We were talking about reading a book before you go to bed instead of watching TV. And Travis in Yellville said, do what I do, watch a TV series that's based on a book.
There you
it's
go.
fairly close to the same thing.
That's what the intellectuals do.
Yeah, it's a true story. Something like that.
Based on true events.
Yeah. By the way, you can listen to the show anytime, anywhere on the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell. You can take it anywhere with you. Just download the app. It's free, and you click the play button. You're going to hear what's ever on the radio, what is ever airing at that moment. You'll hear it right there in the Hit That Line Now app. 6 Hogs earned Phil Steele honors. Phil Steele's magazine's coming out July 4th. It was long thought to be the Bible of preseason college football magazines. Fernando Carmona and Cam Shanks, first-team selections at guard and punt returner. 6 Razorbacks earned preseason All-SEC honors from Steele. Shanks is an All-American preseason and was selected to the first team, and Carmona checked in on the second team. In addition to Carmona and Shanks, Cam Ball was named second-team All-SEC as a defensive tackle. New offensive tackle Corey Robinson, the second, and punter Devin Bell collected third-team recognition, and linebacker Xavier Sori Jr. named fourth-team All-SEC. So 6. How many teams does he have?
He has like 5 or 6 teams.
There are a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Too many teams.
He's a Phil Steele all-conference selection.
Do you know what I'm excited about with football season? I mean, a bunch of things, but like one thing I'm thinking about right now.
What's that?
Having a threat at punt returner.
Yeah, no, you're right. Hey,
Like
I
if
was
Cam
thinking
Shanks
the same
is
thing.
really that. We don't put enough emphasis on. I mean, I'm not saying the coaches don't, but sometimes as a fan, we don't want to talk about special teams because it's just, we'd rather talk about touchdown passes and,
What was it John L. said about large chunks of land?
Yeah,
It's one-play battles for giant chunks of
land.
land.
Okay, there we go. Well, it is.
That's a great line.
It's a
Never
one-play
forget.
battle for
Never
large chunks of land. Cam Shanks needs to be that type returner. We were talking about game changers, game breakers, game wreckers a little bit earlier. You got to have guys on your team like that on both sides of the ball and in special teams. Catch the ball first, then make something happen.
I'm also anxious to see him in the slot. What can they do with him there? Get the ball in his hands. Can he make some guys miss?
That's fair too.
I think the offense is going to be fun to watch. I'm looking forward to football. I'm starting to get there. I turned the corner over the weekend.
You want to
I'm
go to media
getting
days?
A little bit of an itch. No.
Okay.
But we are thinking about sending Jackson.
I think that's a great idea.
We'll have a plan.
No instruction.
We will have a plan. We always do.
A room with Ty.
Have a great Tuesday on National Take Back the Lunch Break Day.
Take a longer lunch break today.
Absolutely. Chuck and Bo Show. We'll try it again tomorrow.
Hey, want to fly like a VIP? With Jet Aircraft, you skip the TSA lines, skip baggage claim, and fly on your schedule. The plane doesn't leave until you get there. You enjoy a full bar and food service for up to 9 passengers and plenty of room for luggage. Wherever you need to fly to or from, whether it's a special trip to the College World Series or golfing with buddies, round up your crew, split the cost, and fly private. Also, ask about the Jet card. Visit jetnwa.com. That's Jet with 2 T's.
As a play-by-play announcer, my eyes are everything. I need to see every detail on the field to call the game the right way. So when cataracts started affecting my vision, I knew I couldn't wait. I went to Dr. Betts and the team at McDonald Eye Associates.
And truthfully, I wish I'd done it years ago. The difference is incredible. The whole experience was professional, easy, and honestly,